Hey, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another live hangout vid. Yes, we got some interesting news to talk about right now. Shout out to everybody out in the YouTube boxing community. Shout out to some of the homies in the LDBC, even though I'm not part of the LDBC, but I got to give a shout out to them. Shout out to all the other my UK subscribers. Shout out to my UK uploaders, which includes EJ, Double A Boxing, uh, Double A Boxing and Blunts, Kiwi Box, which is now Big Boys Boxing, the whole 9 yards, man. And shout out to the ones I have some, not saying conflicts, so debate of disagreement, low plays, and also the ring IQ, which I highly respect. So shout out to all you guys out there. You know me, I like get along with everybody. Just about. And McGregor too is obviously McGregor, which is now Unrival Boxing. Um, I'm biased, even though we have some disagreements, and we have battle rifle, all the whole 9 yards, man. So shout out to all you cats out there. But anyways, let's talk about this interesting news here. All right, and of course, everybody's now heard about this. Sorry about that. Levels. Anyways, I'm sure everyone's heard about the news, about the recent news that's been reported, and I'm starting to see some video surface on this. Is that Deontay Wilder has been offered, according to this report that's been released by World Boxing News. It's been leaked, by the way. According to a source, Deontay Wilder's offer by the zone is $50 million. Now, that's a huge lot of money. Now, this is a very, very short-term deal, okay? Now, the $50 million offer is a two-fight deal. I'm gonna bring up the report in its entirety. I'll just go over the gist of it. Just make sure I have my facts straight. According to this report, let's see here. Where is that report? Yeah, I'm just going to bring it up, guys. Give me a moment. Right, finally on course. Yeah, let's see. World Boxing News. Here it is. All right, so according to this report, World Boxing News is that it is a $50 million offer. It's a two-fight deal, but the Joshua fight is not included in the deal. And let me go into a little detail about that, okay? So the way it's being detailed, the way it's being laid out is being outlined in the agreement in this short-term deal. Wilder would get two fights, $25 million for the first two fights, over which does calculate to $50 million. So the first fight will be down in Brazil in his mandatory defense. So he'll be offered $25 million to take that fight. Okay, and then the second fight, should he win that fight, the second fight he'll have an option on Dillian White, or get this name, according to the report here, Vladimir Klitschko and Alexander Usyk. So those are the three names that's being thrown out for his second fight. So I know I had a little chat in the comment section about the Klitschko fight, and Unbiased, so shout out to Unbiased. He was mentioning that, you know what, I take that deal, and I have to agree. I'll take the deal too. Hey, if you can get Klitschko in there, that's name recognition. And I say, you know what, that may be the case, but will Wilder get the same credit of beating Klitschko like Joshua and Fury did? If given the fact that Klitschko's been out of the ring for 2 years. So I don't know about that. But speaking of Klitschko, he's rumored to now more likely could sign a deal with the zone too, because he's very, very, very keen on the offer they're giving him to come back. So I don't know. I mean, that would be interesting. I mean, hey, if Deontay say, hey, give me the Klitschko fight, he probably will take it. But to me, again, it's all about will he get the same credit like Fury and Joshua did for beating Klitschko. I don't know. But hey, if he does get that, if he does fight Klitschko and beat him, then he gets that Hall of Fame name on his resume just like they do. So we'll see. The Texas says, yeah, I think he should get credit for Klitschko as long as he gets a tune-up before Wilder. You know what? I agree. You know what, Texan, that's a good point. I think with Klitschko, if he does sign, he will definitely get the tune-up before the Wilder fight. So I don't think they're going to put him in there right away. Given the money, given his fight coming back. I mean, if that's what Klitschko chooses to do, that'd be great. But for him, for his health's sake, he definitely needs a tune-up because he's definitely been out of the ring for 2 years, and he's still in shape though. He's still in the gym actively training. So we'll see how that turns out. So, yeah, but again, to me, if you ask my opinion, I think he definitely should take this deal. Now, will he take it immediately? I don't think so. And the reason why I say that is because I think he's going to wait And I think Al Heyman's going to advise him on this. And he's like, you know what? Wait for a counter offer to come back between ESPN, Showtime, and maybe Fox, because I know Fox has done great ratings with the PBC recently, more so than Showtime. So to me personally, I don't think Showtime could match the offer. I'm sure they're going to try to do it to keep him on. But I just don't see how they can do it. I'm just being real. I just don't see how they could do it. Fox may have a good chance of doing it. ESPN may have a good chance of countering the offer, but obviously, ESPN obviously wants a pretty long-term deal with Wilder. And of course, Wilder's not going to take that. So we'll see. But we'll see what Fox can do if they can match the offer. But if anything, if they can't, go with the zone, man, because I think it's a better offer. Hey, if you could get Brazil as your mandatory, obviously you get $25 million for that fight. That's great. If the Klitschko fight does become on the rise on the second fight, I'm sure people say, why not? Take it. There's a Klitschko fight right there that's waiting to happen for you. Joe Host, what's happening, man? He says the Joshua Wilder fight will be in 2020. Well, according to this report, the Joshua fight is not included. Unfortunately, it's not included in the deal. So basically, the way it's been outlined again is that should he be victorious against Brazil, or the second fight, if it's either Alexander Usyk, Vladimir Klitschko, or Dillian White, should he be victorious in those two fights, then the Joshua fight will be negotiated. It will be discussed. Discussed. It'll be discussed, but it's not guaranteed that will happen. But to be fair, though, there is a slight chance that there's a good chance it could happen. It's just the zone is heavily involved now because, and let's be truthful here, and Joe Host could agree with me, and maybe Texan, you can agree with me on this as well. Eddie Hearn, I don't think the zone don't really fully trust Eddie Hearn to negotiate these fights to an extent. So that's why they're getting involved here. So it's like, you know what? Eddie does have a right. He's inclined to negotiate with Wilder, his team, which is Finkel, Davila, and Heyman. He is inclined to still negotiate, but the zone is going to be the middleman here because they're going to get involved. They're going to play a heavy influence to make that fight happen. So they don't really trust Eddie Hearn to get to close the deal on this. So they want to make sure that, hey, we got to get involved in negotiations because they probably gave Eddie Hearn, in my opinion, from the looks of what's going on and all these transactions that have been taking place, the zone don't fully trust Eddie Hearn to close the deal. So they're going to try to get involved to make sure they could influence it. That's just the way I see it. So, not saying that Eddie Hearn has not been a good asset to him. He has been a good asset to him to an extent, but again, they just don't trust him to close the deal. That's just the way I see it. So they're going to get involved in it. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out, but it's not going to happen this year. Let's forget about it. The Wilder Josh fight's not going to happen next year. It's a toss up. Let's put it this way. But again, it's not a guarantee that it will happen. So we'll see. Yeah, hey, what's up, Double A? Double A and Bunsen says that why offer him a deal without Joshua in the contract? Wilder and AJ needs to happen this year. Hey, I agree, man. I agree with you on it. That fight needs to happen this year. I agree. I just don't understand why we fans have to wait for a big fight to happen. Look, what's wrong offering a fight happen this year? If either one of them loses, so what? They can still bounce back and recover and still have a great career. Many fighters take losses. Even Wilder has alluded to this. It's okay to lose. But if you lose a fight, so what? You live to fight another day. You can go home to your family with your, with your health preserved. So, hopefully with your health preserved and you fight another day, you could still produce a great career afterwards. So the Texas says, yeah, there's been a huge feud with the Wilder's team and Hearn's team. So it does make sense why they let Skipper do the talking. Yeah, exactly. It goes back to my point. Again, that actually proves my point, Texan, is that the zone they don't trust Hearn. Or in fact, they don't even trust. So, well, let's just put it this way. The zone, Hearn is their representative in a way because he is their promoter, but not their sole promoter as they initially trialed it out to be. But again, it goes back to the fact that they are not happy with the preliminary results that Hearn was delivering for them. So now they're getting involved. They're making the deals. And they're the ones who are like trying to be the middleman in the negotiations between Wilder and Joshua. Again, Eddie Hearn is still going to be involved in the negotiations, no question about it, between to make this fight happen. But the zone is going to play a big influence to seal the deal. That's where John, like you said, John Skipper is getting involved now. So that's the thing. I estimate Wilder Joshua 2020 in the summertime. Yeah, I mean, sadly, Texan, that's the way I see it too. From the looks of it, that's what's going to happen. Joe says 33, in my opinion, is your last prime year. That fight can't happen when Wilder's 35, and God forbid that shit AJ will go through if Wilder beats him in that age. You know what? You know what, Joe, you may have a point. The thing is that when you get older, your body, your reflexes changes, your body changes, and you do. You're not the same fighter when you get older, especially when you get in your mid-30s. I mean, depending on the wars that you go through, I mean, Wilder hasn't really been in that many wars. I mean, he has been in two tough fights recently, more recently with Ortiz and Fury. Who knows what that's taken out of him, So we'll see. We'll see. If he, I mean, look, to be fair though, I think his athleticism and his speed is still there. It's still there, but to your point, when you get older, especially in your mid-30s, those skill sets that Wilder possesses, which has gotten through his fights for the most part of his career, they will diminish. They will deplete. So yeah, they will deplete, even though he hasn't taken much damage in his career. So we'll see. But as you mentioned, God forbid. So we'll see, how this plays out. Very interesting offer. Damn good money for a very, very short-term deal. But let me bring the guys in the chat and see what their thoughts on this, and see what they say. I'm not going to be on this long because I ain't too much to discuss. You know what? Before I get into that, let me just talk briefly about the Porter and Ugás fight. I know this has happened over the weekend. I'm a little late on this one, but I would say, though, it was a very tough fight, especially for Sean Porter. It was a mandatory defense. And I know it was a toss-up. I don't know, man. From the looks of it, I edged the fight for Ugás. I know Sean Porter was boxing and he was moving around. I guess his work rate was persuaded some of the judges to give him the decision. It was a split decision, but I thought Ugás won the fight. I really thought he did, man. I really thought he did, and I think he was robbed from a knockdown. That right there was a telling point of the fight. He was robbed from the knockdown. So I don't think I'm not going to go far to call it a robbery as some people are suggesting, but I just think that it was a close fight. It could have gone either way. I will concede to that fact, but I thought Ugás did the better work in that fight than Porter, in my opinion. I think he did. I'm going to have to look at it again. It's such a close fight, but I think we definitely need to see a rematch. Ugás has definitely petitioned the WBC to order a immediate rematch between the two, given the fact that he believed there was some controversy. He believed that he was robbed from a decision. So we'll see. But speaking of Ugás, man, he is a big-ass welterweight. I thought Sean Porter was a big welterweight. But that dude is huge for a welterweight. So, and he's tall. So he's going to pose a very, very serious problems for these other heavy welterweights, including Earl Spence, the Keith Thurmans, and even Manny Pacquiao's. Obviously, he'll be a huge problem for them. And he's another Cuban fighter I think is going to be given the short end of the stick when it comes to getting big fights going forward. So just like Ortiz and Rigondeaux have, to be fair, Rigondeaux has gotten a couple big fights in his career, and Ortiz got one with Wilder. But still, though, it is what it is. What's up, Bo? A long time no hear, brother. I'm good. Rock 89, I'm good too, man. I know I'm up early, but just wanted to chop this up a bit. I heard from you all the time, Rock, man. But yeah, so Double A says that if he could get $50 million for 2 warm-ups in AJ next year, then Wilder will be sleeping sound at night. Yeah, I mean, it goes to the argument that a lot of people are saying that I hate to say it, the detractors of Wilder detractors. They're all going around trying to count the man's bank account, this, that, and the third, what he deserves, what he does not deserve, this, that, and the third. Look, at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder can care less about how much you think he deserves, as far as prize, as far as getting his purse is concerned. The fact is, the man's a multimillionaire. He's got more money than all of us could dream of. Most of us wouldn't even come close to that type of money that he earns. So he's living comfortably. He's fine. He's got he's got a nice fiance. He's got kids. So he's happy with his life. So who we're the judge. I mean, if he feels this, whatever money he's offering, if he feels he should turn down deals, that's his prerogative. But at the same time, we do have a right to criticize it. But at the same time, the man's got millionaire. He's got millions of dollars, so he's not worried about he's not worried about the money he's making right now. So let's just leave it at that. But anyways, yeah, that's a very damn good deal for a very short term deal, man. $50 million for 2 fights. Again, first fight with Brahms Brazil's obviously that's the fight that's going to be offered, and the second fight he can opt between Klitschko, Usyk, and White. So yeah, I agree, Rock. People just need to stop counting the pockets, man. Just be fans. I agree. I mean, I'm an old school fan just like you are, man. I just want to see the fight. Who gives a fuck what these fighters get paid, man? As long as I see the fight. And Mr. Doc and I can attest it. Mr. Doc can attest to this. Yeah, I mean, let's just see the fight. Who cares, man? If look, sadly, money is kind of the reason why these fights are being prolonged. But at the same time, I don't care what fights that how much money they make. As long as they come to an agreement, both sides are satisfied, then let them fight. I don't care what money they make. You know what I mean? So we'll see. See how this plays out. Now, Tyson Fury versus Oscar Rivas. That's the fight that's been reported. That's been targeted for June 8th, I believe, in Madison Square Garden. So I'm not sure if it's going to be it's going to be at the Garden. So we'll see. Obviously that's a very intriguing fight. I saw a few videos on it. Some guys are not happy about it. I guess they're not happy to the fact that they're still upset about Tyson Fury pulling out of the Deontay Wilder rematch, which I am upset about too. But at the same time, we can't. I mean, look, he took the money. I can't blame him for taking the money. But at the same time, the Oscar Rivas fight is not a bad fight at all. It's actually a good fight. It could potentially be a dangerous fight for Fury because Rivas is a very, very, very dangerous opponent right now at this point. He's coming off a good win against Brian Jennings, a mild upset and people want to label it to be. And I do expect Fury to win that fight, but I wouldn't call that a easy tune-up. That's a very dangerous tune-up, to be honest with you. So I like that fight. I think it would. I mean, depending on how Fury dictates it. I mean, it could be a letdown, but we'll see. I think that Fury will make. I mean, Rivas will make the fight out of it. Of course, Fury will make the fight out of it too because of his in-ring antics. But we'll see how that turns out. But I like that fight. I really do. I know some guys are going to disagree with me on this, but I definitely like that fight. I would definitely prefer Fury go with the Wilder rematch. It is unfortunate. It is just very disappointing that he turned that down. It is a duck. There's no other way of describing it. It is a duck on Fury's part. So it is what it is. Tone says, hey, has Wilder accepted the offer? No, he hasn't accepted the offer yet. But just from my theory, from my belief, I think Al Heyman is going to advise him to wait on it before he accepts it and see if the other networks like Showtime, Fox, and ESPN can counter it, which I'm sure they'll try to do, but I don't think Showtime can counter it. So I think we're going to have to leave them out, to be honest with you. I just don't think they can. But I think Fox and ESPN definitely has a greater chance of countering that offer that Wilder's getting from DAZN compared to Showtime. So I think Al Heyman is going to advise him to wait on the counter offers come back. Now, if DAZN's offer is still a very, very lucrative deal, then take it. In fact, some guys suggest he should take it because he could potentially get the Klitschko fight in the second fight. Should he take it? And Klitschko is rumored to sign is rumored to more likely sign with the DAZN too in his comeback. So we'll see. Wilder versus Klitschko. Again, I wouldn't mind seeing it, but the thing is that Vladimir Klitschko has been out of the ring for 2 years, and I'm not sure if he's going to get this. If Wilder should beat him, he will get the same credit as AJ and Fury did. But we'll see. We'll see. Rock AA says, Rock, I would agree, but money is stopping the big fights. So there is a $50 million, but no guarantee of undisputed. The fans will lose out. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the only letdown about this offer, AA, is that this is no guarantee. So the fact that the Joshua fight is not included in the deal, what the zone's offering is that, okay, we'll give you these 2 fights, then we can negotiate depending how well you perform in those fights for the Joshua fight. So that's like the biggest drawback of the deal. I mean, if the deal did include the Joshua fight, why not? Jump on it. It's a huge money deal. Take it. But the Joshua fight's not included. But we'll have to wait and see, though. It'd be funny if he's gotten a 24-hour deadline to agree. You know, Double A. I hope. I mean, I hope that's not the case, but we'll see, though, man. But you know, John Skipper's not going to get Wilder that short of a deadline to agree. But you know, here's the thing: him and Lou DiBella are very good friends. So, uh, you know, they're gonna you know, bend the rules. I mean, not bend the rules, but John Skipper is going to probably do his best. He's going to do his best to compromise with the Wilder's team to make sure they're you know, they're on the same page. You know, so we'll see. But anyways, let me go ahead and bring the guys in the chat. I promise to make this quick. Low Place gets in here because I know he's gonna start saying some hateful shit. All right, let's see what we got here. AJ here. What up, Daniel? Well, Eddie Hearn is not part of this deal, so let's get it twisted, guys. I know some people are gonna say is Eddie Hearn is involved. No, he's not involved in the deal. Come on, relax. He can advise, but he's not involved. This is solely the Zone doing the deal directly. Wilder's team. Hearn is not involved in this deal, so let's not get it twisted, please. It is the thing I want to talk about. People are giving Eddie Hearn way too much credit. I mean, he does deserve some credit to some degree with his involvement with the Zone. I will give him that, but we cannot be naive about the situation. Whenever a fighter signs to the Zone, that does not always have anything to do with Eddie Hearn. I don't know why people like to give Eddie Hearn credit for whenever a big fighter signs to the Zone. And to me, that's pretty dangerous because here's the thing. If you're going to do that, then Eddie Hearn deserves to be responsible for why the WBSS has flopped on the Zone. Yes, it has flopped. Okay. And there's no other way of describing it because I know Barbershop Conversations had screenshot an event photo of the WBSS, which was out in New Orleans, where they couldn't even fill the front row seats and the damn whole building, the whole venue was empty, right? And barbershops had tied Eddie Hearn to that, and a lot of Eddie Hearn fanatics didn't like that, and they say, "Look, that's bullshit. Eddie Hearn has nothing to do with that." Well, you know, even though I don't really agree with Fred on many cases, but he did bring up an interesting point. It's like, well, okay, you guys like to give credit whenever a big fighter fights to the Zone. You want to give Hearn credit for that. Since you guys like to give him credit for whenever a big fighter fights to the Zone, then he deserves credit or responsibility for why the WBSS is flopped, right? So it is an interesting point. So let's just be rational here, okay? He does deserve some credit to an extent, yes, but he does not deserve all credit whenever a big fighter fights to his own because he has nothing to do with those deals. So let's not get it twisted, okay? Yeah, what's up, Harold Jones? Yeah, that's against me. It's like people act like the Hearn owns the app. Exactly. He doesn't own anything. He's just a partner, just like any other promoter. Like Bob Arum is a partner with ESPN. Like Al Heyman, even though he's not a promoter, but Al Heyman, who's a lucrative manager, you could say a lucrative boxing manager, he's a partner with Fox. He's a partner with the Showtime. So, okay, all right. So, but again, I'm not gonna, we cannot give Hearn credit whatever fighters like Gennady Golovkin or Deontay Wilder would possibly, or let's just say Gennady Golovkin, for example, signs with the Zone, or Canelo Alvarez. He has nothing to do with those deals. He doesn't promote those guys. Okay, he can advise on it. Yes, he can, but he does not get full credit for bringing those fighters on board. That's not it. He doesn't promote those guys. He has no co-promotional agreement with them. So please, let's be truthful here. All right. All right. So I just posted in the chat. I'm gonna get some other guys in here too. See what we can do. Chop it up a bit. Oop, there's a Gus jump on, guys. And another thing, I'm gonna make a pretty bold prediction on this too, based off of the money that the Zone is offering for these fighters like Wilder, Golovkin, who's just signed a deal, Canelo Alvarez, Anthony Joshua, even though that's a short-term fight-by-fight basis. I predict, and a lot of people are gonna call me out for saying this. I predict that the Zone will offer a pay-per-view platform. They will do it, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because to me, for them to recoup the investment that they're giving these fighters, they're going to have to offer a pay-per-view platform to get the money back. They're going to have to do it. I just don't see no other way of how they're going to do it. Yes, they're going to rely on trying to get a substantial subscriber base, but you can only go so far with that as far as from a short-term strategy standpoint. Now, I'm not saying they're going to offer a pay-per-view platform, a pay-per-view format that's going to be like what $75 per fight. Not saying they're going to do that. I think what they're going to do is that they're going to offer a pay-per-view platform, but maybe offer it at a reasonable price. Let's say $40 per premium fight, like a Joshua versus let's say Joshua versus Wilder, should that happen, or a Wilder versus a Wilder versus Klitschko, should that happen, or Usyk or White, should that happen. White or Wilder versus Brazil, which obviously, or Joshua versus Miller, which is a big money fights that they're offering those two for. I mean, Wilder should take it. But the fact is that I think they're going to have to offer these pay-per-views so they can recoup the money and pay these. I mean, obviously the fighters are getting their guarantees, but they need Zone need their money. They need their money. So, yeah, and John Skipper kind of alluded to this too in the press conference with Triple G at the Conga Room, which is in downtown LA, which I live pretty close by. So he was asked this pretty much hardline question, straightforward question: what is your subscriber base? And the moderator asked him from the 1 to 10, are you satisfied with the subscriber base that you have in the States so far? Can you give us a ballpark figure? If you don't want to do that, then give us how satisfied are you with the subscriber base from 1 to 10? John Skipper did kind of allude it. He tried to give the best diplomatic answer that he could as a businessman, as a professional. But if you read between the lines, he's not satisfied with the subscriber count that they have right now. He's not happy about it. He did essentially say that it's not where we wanted to be, but at the same time, we understand it's gonna take us a long way to get where we need to be. So he did allude to that fact. So now, at the same time, I do agree with that answer, but at the same time, you shouldn't be burning the money, your revenue, the way you're doing right now, just to get these fighters on board. I mean, yeah, you could pay them, but for you to recoup that money, you do have to offer a pay-per-view platform. I just don't see no other way of doing it. You're going to have to do it. Now, if they're really going to plan on forking this money for a very, very short term, but yeah, it's going to be very eerie for them. We'll see how this plays out, man. We'll see how this plays out. But let me see. Let me add for this. I know it's kind of early, but I'm not sure any guy's going to jump on. But I'm going to jump on, people. Hold on here. I know he will have to comment on this. Yeah, thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Fix. I'm good. What's up, C's? C says Hearn signed to deal with his own. He doesn't own them. They hired him. Yeah, that's a very common sense, logical answer. Yeah, exactly. Rock says that good business is done behind closed doors. They keep airing each other's dirty laundry out. We have to watch grown men catch their feelings. Yeah, I know. That's like the sad state of what's going on here. And Blood Boxer, shout out to Blood, who's now retro boxing and documentaries. Blood did allude to this point. He said, look, man, these negotiations need to be kept behind closed doors. They should be not aired on social media. And I think Eddie Hearn is the guy who kind of innovated that to an extent. But yeah, I just think they need to be kept quiet, because the more these negotiations become public, the more they can get scrutinized. And sometimes that becomes very detrimental for the hopes of big fights happening. So I just think they need to be kept behind closed doors, to be honest with you, for the most part. I just think it should. But I it's a good deal. Let's just see if the other networks can counter offer what the Zone is offering Wilder. If this report by WBN is to be accurate, so I have no reason to believe it's not accurate. I think it is accurate, I should say. But we'll see. We'll see if anybody from Wilder's camp or from the Zone representative, they knock it down. That's a possibility, but we'll see. We'll take it as it is right now. So yeah. Yeah, but $50 million for 2 fights, dang. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Texas says agree. They should be private. That's how fans in these boxing forums get hostile over each other if they made public. Yeah, exactly. It further, exactly, Texas. It further divides the boxing forums, and particularly on YouTube. It further divides us. Now everybody wants to count these fighters' pockets, what they should be making, what they should not be making. Yes, we can offer opinion on it because at the end of the day, boxing is a business. I hate to say that. It's a business more so than a sport. But at the same time, if you want to go by principle, these negotiations should remain private, not be aired publicly. Not saying we don't have a right to know about the negotiations, but I think they should be disclosed to a minimum extent, in my opinion. So yeah, we'll see how this plays out. If they offer him 50 million for 2 fights, 2 warm-ups, then it looks like all the other offers have been pretty low. I mean, to the extent I agree with that, maybe it goes back to the budget that that the network Showtime that Wilder's been fighting on for the most part of his career. What they've been offering due to the budget, and obviously their budget is not as quite as big as Showtime, CBS, they have a very, very huge budget, but depending on boxing, what their boxing budget looks like, that's another story. Yeah, it could, from the looks of it, some people are predicting maybe Showtime could be out of the boxing scene, just like HBO. They're probably going to bow out by the way things are looking. I'm not going to go far as saying that yet, but if they lose Wilder, I'm going to be honest with you. I heard another channel uploader say this. If they lose Wilder, then that's a big, huge financial blow to Showtime. I'm just being honest. That's a huge financial blow. And let's be real. Other than Pacquiao, who's Showtime's biggest star? Boxing star? Wilder. So Wilder, to tell you the truth, Wilder and Manny Pacquiao at this stage of his career, they're kind of neck to neck when it comes to bringing in revenue and ratings. I mean, obviously, and Wilder drew more than Manny in his last fight, against Broner. But the fact is, well, from a attendance standpoint, but from a buy standpoint, of course, Manny Pacquiao did a little bit more than Wilder. But the fact is that Manny Pacquiao can't carry Showtime by himself. So, I mean, Wilder had, been kind of holding it down. Well, not saying Wilder can do it himself, but he is holding it down to an extent. But the fact is, my point is that Showtime's going to need Wilder. They're going to need Manny Pacquiao, and they're definitely going to need Wilder. They need those two because those are their two biggest fighters. I mean, if they lose him, then that is devastating to them if they lose him right now. And I think they're going to do what they can to keep him. But again, I just don't see how they're going to match this offer. I just don't see it. But I've been proven wrong before. We'll see. This Cold War. Hold on. C says that 50 million is definitely worth looking into, Dan. I wonder if ESPN will try to match it or if they'll exceed it. I think they're going to try to do it. I think they're going to try it. And I think Fox is going to try to do it as well. Yeah. You know what, Finks? I did bring this up. This is a very good point. Fox has been getting the best fights more so than Showtime, and their ratings has been a lot better. They've been a lot better than Showtime. So, so I think that Fox is going to look at this deal that Wilder is, if these reports are to be accurate, if it cooperates with the sources and methods, as you want to call it, I think Fox is going to take a shot at Wilder. They're going to definitely, and Wilder is even, he's been on their few of their shows too, and from what I've been hearing, Wilder does have a very, very good relationship with some of the Fox executives, and I'm sure they're going to do the best they can to match the offer that the zone is going to give them. And if Fox gives him a very, very good deal, then why not take it? You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. We'll definitely see how this plays out, So, Alan says, now it's fun to have these Civil War debates. Yeah, he's responding to Rock's point about the Cold War on YouTube. It is ruined boxing to an extent, but at the same time, it is a bit of enjoyment. I agree with Tone on that one. It's some bit of fun, but at the same time, it does become very detrimental. Damn, I was talking to the guys a second ago. I don't know why they're not on. I guess they're tired. I guess they are, but we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. I know it's late over in the UK, but it is what it is. So yeah, it's very good stuff, man. It's very good stuff. I mean, I respect a lot of video uploads on this today, a lot of hangouts. Let's see. I know Eddie Hearn had to chime in on this saying, look, Wilder's to the zone. That would be the only way the Joshua fight gets done. Well, I mean, Eddie, I don't know, man. I don't know what type of, I mean, you need to take a position on what you truly believe in, because you did hint at that, the Joshua Wilder fight could happen on Showtime as well. You wanted to compromise on that. So we'll see. I mean, come on, man. Make up your mind on that. But anyhow, let me see. I'm not sure anybody cares about this news, but Jesse Vargas is fighting Humberto Soto at a catchweight 150 pounds. And it was rumor mill that Jesse Vargas was targeting Jaime Munguia, but man, Jesse Vargas is going to get smoked in that fight. Should like Munguia, but it is what it is. Anybody cares about that Humberto Soto fight and Jesse Vargas, please. All right. Anyhow, Double A says the thing with Wilder is that he can't get AJ to a purse bid for Fox or Showtime to win. So if he wants AJ, he's going to need to fight on the zone. Yeah, that's an interesting point. You could be right on that, but who's to say? I mean, the zone does have a lot of money, so the thing is they're actually backed by the owner. He forgot the guy. His name is Leo. I forgot his last name, but he is a Russian billionaire, and sadly nobody's been reporting this. But he has ties to the Kremlin. He has close connections to Vladimir Putin, and from the last time I read, he's under a federal investigation by the special counsel here in the United States. So I'm not obviously. I think they're looking into his campaign. Donations to the Trump campaign. So they're looking at the validity of that and see how far that went as far as did he buy influences with the White House. But we'll wait and see what that comes out as soon as Robert Mueller drafts his report on that. But we'll see. But anyways, yeah, he's kind of like a Zabransky type of guy. You know what I mean? He has so much limited resources. He can spend money where it goes. Hey, did you see the ring at Weekend? It has. Did you see the ring at Weekend? It has a Russian copper company on the ring. Are they under sanctions? Yeah, I did see that Double A in that ring. They were sponsoring that Russian copper company. Yeah, they're under sanctions. I don't know why they're doing that. I think that's going to be that could raise some federal issues with the government since that company's under on U.S. sanctions. So yeah, again, the zone has Russian connections. So that right there could be looked into in the future, but we'll see. I'm sure Robert Mueller is looking at that right now, but we'll see when he drafts his report. Let's see. Somebody just jumped on here.
What's up, Tom?
What's up, McGregor?
Not much, man. How's it going?
Good, man. I know it's kind of late on you guys' end, so I know I'm gonna make this real quick.
It's not late. It's not late at all. It's what? It's 2:30 p.m. I've got 15 minutes for lunch. So
okay. So you guys are at work basically. It's all good. Yeah.
Well, actually, right now I'm at school. Now I'm at school.
That's good. So, what do you think about this deal, man? I know we talked about this in the comment section briefly. So, what do you think about it?
Take the money and run. Take the money and run. I don't care what anybody says. Right here's just a straight up fact. Yeah. The amount of money that Wilder and Fury grossed between them was about how much Anthony Joshua got against Povetkin, right? Wilder is now being offered the same amount of money that Joshua got for Klitschko for 2 fights each. Right. I mean, that's not a joke. And that was true pay-per-view for Wilder against the second biggest name he could have fought, right? No other name outside of Joshua will beat that pay-per-view. That's true. I think we can all agree.
Right. I agree with that. I agree with that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So realistically, I don't see Showtime can't compete with it because their only option is through pay-per-view. ESPN can, but considering their investment into Fury and the way they're negotiating, they're going to say you can earn up to this amount, blah, 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 blah. The zone are offering you guaranteed 25 million is what's being reported, 25 million.
Right.
For Dominic Breazeale.
Yeah, and then the second fight is possibly Dillian White. He has an option of Dillian White, Alexander Usyk, or Vladimir Klitschko.
Take the money and run. It's $50 million. One of those is Dominic Breazeale, and you can possibly choose Dillian White, or Usyk or Klitschko. I mean, Klitschko's been out of the ring for 2 years. He looked great last time around, but He has been out for 2 years, just like he was before that. So effectively, he's had 2 fights in 4 years, right?
Yeah, that's the thing too. If he opts to fight Vladimir Klitschko, should he beat him, which we all expect he do, he would do hypothetically. Will he get the same amount of credit for beating him like Wilder? I mean, not like Joshua and Fury did.
I'll be honest with you. UK fans give Joshua a lot of credit. A lot of US fans don't give Joshua a lot of credit for the Klitschko.
Right.
Because they bring up the timestamp out. Now, US fans will give Wilder a lot of credit for it, but UK fans will automatically be defensive about it because of the last situation. Well, you said he was out for 2 years. He's been out for another 2 years.
Right.
And he's lost twice.
That's true. Yeah, that's so true. But to in the comment section, Ron as Zorro want this to be correct. He said, "Look, actually, Wilder generating more than $54 million internationally. The last seasons, I know that's only in America. So there's a dispute on how much it actually generated, but obviously it did definitely. I think it did between $50 and $60 million overall.
Right. Here's just a fact. None of us know exactly how much money it grows. Based off of the pay-per-view numbers reported in America, that's all we can go off. We don't know about back end. We're not Al Heyman.
Yeah, we don't know about the ticket revenue, but if they did sell about 15,000 tickets and the others were comp as it was reported, and the tickets were, so they probably made about a good $9 million at the gate, maybe $10 million at the gate.
I was actually looking at it, and I was trying to break it down about how many tickets were being sold and all of the prices and everything. And I worked it out that it's somewhere between 7.6 and $8.1 million gate.
Okay, that's close enough. Roughly, that's close enough to 9. Yeah, that's good. So, plus the international TV rights, and they also have the other 2 licensing fees included. So they probably did, if anything, if they did, you could say roughly about $50 to $60 million. That's probably the actual number they made. But
now in terms of the amount of money that was made, that wasn't what I said. I'm saying what it was reported that both fighters took home.
Oh, okay. Their purses. Okay, there you go. You're right.
I'm not talking about how much was reported that the event made. I'm talking that it was reported that Wilder got about 13 to 14 million and Fury got about 7 million, which comes out at about $21 million. And Joshua made more than that against Povetkin. That's what I was saying.
Oh, okay. There you go. That makes sense. Yeah. So Wilder got 14 and Fury got like 10 million US dollars. So, all right, fair enough. But yeah, I think he should take the money, man. But again, I think Al Heyman's going to advise him to wait for the counter offers to come back with, because I think that Fox has a better chance of counter offering him than to Dazn. I think they have a better chance of doing it. So we'll see. Because look at the Fox is getting a better ratings on Showtime recently, more so recently than Showtime.
Well, they should. They're free, and mate, America, BBC is sleeping on a monster there in Fox.
Oh yeah,
they really are.
They are. I agree. But most of their fighters are going over there now, so Showtime's losing out on big fights. So I just think, some people predicted that they could be following HBO and getting out of the boxing game pretty soon. The way things are looking for them,
Yeah,
so,
most definitely.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how this turns out, man. But yeah, $50 million for 2 fights—that's a damn good short-term deal.
Look, let me put it like this. The only deal off of the top of my head that we know guaranteed beats that deal is Canelo's $35 million a fight.
Yeah.
It's the only deal in boxing that beats it. If Wilder's getting $50 million for 2 fights, it's $25 million per fight. That's actually like a guarantee. That's higher than any guarantee.
Right.
Because Joshua's making a lot of his money through pay-per-view.
That's true. And the thing is that Canelo's going to look at that and say, well, how come I didn't get a short-term deal like that? I got signed as a long-term deal to get what I got. You know what I mean? So
because Canelo got offered $365 million for 10 fights.
Right.
Or 11 fights.
So that's $36 million per fight, though.
Well, so, it's 33 to 35, depending, because it's like 11 fights. So.
Right. All right. Well, yeah, fair enough. That comes second to Canelo Alvarez. And now the thing is that now Wilder's, let's be truthful here. Now Wilder's profile says, if his profile didn't really increase after the Ortiz and Fury fights, he probably wouldn't be getting any type of offers. So let's be truthful here,
I mean, his profile raised a bit from the Ortiz victory, a bit. It wasn't a massive raise.
Right.
It wasn't a massive. But if you look at social media figures and everything, Deontay Wilder on social media between Instagram and Twitter gained 80,000 followers but before the fight, and a week after the fight, he gained 80,000 followers. That's quite a bit. That is actually a big gain in 1 week.
Right. Yeah, that is true. That is true. And but I think somebody else alluded to this.
Because that was a 30% gain. That was a 30% gain in followers.
Right. You know, somebody alluded to this too, and I may not agree with this, and you may not agree with this. Maybe this person did have a point though. He said, "Hey, look, you know, we all could go back to the Severn and Wilder rematch, a fight that nobody wanted to see. Everybody was upset about that. I was too. I know it was a mandatory, but we all felt that Severn didn't deserve to be mandatory for that fight. But it is what it is. But when Wilder got him out in the first round, I mean, that knockout was so brutal. It went viral. It went viral. It was memes on it, and that some people said that helped increase Wilder's profile just slightly too from that too as well. Going into the Ortiz.
It's a fact. It's a fact. I mean, but if you remember, a lot of the videos weren't called Deontay Wilder knocks out Severn. It's called Fat Guy Gets Knocked the Fuck Out. That's what was going on. That was mad. That was the main video. That had 5 million views. Fat Guy Gets Knocked the fuck out. I remember that.
Yeah. I know exactly. It's funny too. People were covering it. The Breakfast Club, I'm not sure you know who they are here in the States.
Of course I know who the Breakfast Club is. That's like Charlemagne and Remy Mant. Yeah?
Yeah, Charlemagne and not Remy Mant. No, Charlemagne. Okay. Yeah, DJ Envy and Angela Yee. They're on there. And the fact
but I've seen some of their stuff. I've seen some of it online. Like aren't they the biggest morning podcast in the United States?
They are. They're the biggest urban podcast in the United States. From Urban Radio Network. They're the biggest. They're very popular among the urban groups. So, but the fact is that they started paying attention to Wilder after that fight. After that Severn fight, they were all paying attention to him. They were bringing him on. Wilder was doing some media blitzes after that fight. So it's like after that knockout over Severn. So it's like, oh, okay, now I see where they're going with this now. You know what I mean? So, so the fact is that I think, some people are looking at this and say that, well, like I said, let's just see what transpired from this, what kind of counter offers that Wilder's going to get. I assume that Fox is going to come close to giving the counter offer than more so the ESPN and Showtime. I'll be surprised if Showtime could counter offer this. I'll also be surprised if they can. But I'll tell you one thing. You may agree with me on this one. I think that Showtime, if they lose Wilder, they're in a big hole. It is devastating that they lose him right now. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. It's definitely devastating. But I was thinking about something that you might agree with and that a lot of people aren't paying attention to. Worldwide economics in general, the way there's booms and there's recessions.
Right.
Currently, we are going through a massive boom in the boxing market. Not in terms of the fighters themselves, in terms of DAZN and ESPN and the money that they want to put in, right?
Right.
How long will that be maintained is my question before we see a massive recession and we see a revolt from fighters. Because if you see fighters like Tank being offered $5 million to fight Tevin Farmer, how much is it going to cost to get him in the ring with Lomachenko?
Exactly. That's a good point. And this brings up my other point I was alluding to earlier before you hopped on. The zone is great. It is good. The zone is going out there and making a significant play for these fighters like Wilder, Klitschko, Golovkin, and Canelo, which they've ultimately signed. But the thing is, to me, is like, how are they going to recoup this money? Especially that we're heading for a recession from an economic standpoint. We're heading for it. I'm telling you that right now. We're heading for it. Now, the thing is that, to me, I predict, and you may agree with me on this one, is that, yes, they're expecting a loss initially from these fighters, but for them to recoup the money, the best chance they have is to offer premium services, which is a pay-per-view. Like how ESPN does it. Not saying ESPN Plus, but for premium fights, they're going to have to offer a pay-per-view platform to recoup this money. I'm sorry, they're going to have to do it. I'm not saying they should offer it at a $74.99 rate. I'm not saying they're going to do that, but at least offer a pay-per-view price that's very reasonable that people will entice people to buy it. You know what I mean? So I think that's the only way they can go, man. I just don't think they can rely solely on subscribers.
They need a TV channel.
Huh?
They need a TV channel.
Their own network channel? Yeah, that's possible. Get a TV network deal, probably. That's That's another route they can go. But obviously, a pay-per-view is probably the only route they can go to get their money back. That's the only way I see it. That's the only way I see it.
There's one other way. They get a deal with a mobile company, and part of your monthly plan, you get the zone.
That's a good idea. I mean, that's what Tidal did with Sprint over here, and that's how Tidal became what they are. So, Sprint is a telecom company over here. I'm not sure you know who they are, but that's how Tidal did it with Tidal music streaming, Jay-Z's music streaming platform.
Yeah, I know exactly. I remembered it. I keep up to date on a lot of the business and stuff going on. I have to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. You sound like you got a cold, man. You okay? You there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
No, I do have a cold though. I do have a cold.
It's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good.
It's part of living in Ireland, Dan. You know what I mean? Like the rain hits you.
Trust me, man. I know. I mean, I'm not a rain guy myself. We don't get too much rain here in Southern California. But the thing is, when the rain gets me or the cold gets me, it does get to me. So I know exactly how you feel, brother.
Well, it's 45 degrees Fahrenheit and it's pissing rains with a lot of wind.
Yeah. Hey, so Tone in the chat says I could give a less fuck about what these fighters are making, especially when I can't even organize my own finances without going over budget almost on a weekly basis.
I agree with Tone completely, by the way. I don't care about how much money they're making. I don't really care about the business of it. I want to see the fights. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I want. Like, I paid $5,000 just to go and support 2 fighters last year. I wasn't there to support one or the other. I went over for a lineal heavyweight title fight and I got a lineal heavyweight title fight.
Exactly. Yeah. So that is good though. But let's just say this, man. Caesar's got on. But do you think though, because this is the way I see it, some people may agree or disagree. But if it were for the Wilder and Fury fight that took place last year in December, do you think that we would not be seeing all these transactions that's taking place with these heavyweights?
I think it's a huge precipice, massive. If it at the end of the day, let's say it did 21 million, yeah.
Right.
It was experimental.
Right.
Let's say in the back end it did 56 million. This was an experiment.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It was a trial to see how it does. They weren't expecting astronomical numbers, but let's try it out, see how it goes. And to me, I think it did way above their expectations.
According to all reports, though, Showtime and everything, they made profit on this. They made a profit. They made quite a bit of money on this. So that's successful. When you're in profit, it's a success. Even if you only make $20.
Yeah, if you're making that profit, you make profit. That's how it goes.
That's how business is.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like the biggest fight that can be made in all of boxing is in the heavyweight division. And the 2 biggest fights, even in all of boxing, are in the heavyweight division. That's like Joshua versus Wilder and Joshua versus Fury. Because in the UK, Joshua versus Fury it's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable that minimum that's doing 2 million pay-per-view. Minimum.
Well, let me ask you this though, because ideally that fight will have to happen in the UK, but what are the chances of that fight happening in the States now that Fury, Joshua, White, they're all deflecting in the United States? They all deflected to the States now. So that's something that's really breaking my heart in some ways. No, what I mean is I have to, if I'm going to go to an event, I have to go to America, mate. This year, the biggest fight that's taken place in the UK is Eubank Jr. and James DeGale. I know.
Sky's first meaningful card this year, supposedly in parentheses, meaningful card, is headlined by Senate Gashi against Derek Chisora and Lucas Brown against Dave Allen.
I know.
I'm spending €45 a month for that. What?
I know. I'm looking at that too, and I feel sorry for some of you guys because now your primetime fighters are leaving the UK. Now you don't have no one else there. It's like, I mean, you got Buatsi and Anthony R coming up, but they're not fighting.
We have prospects, right?
You're right.
We have prospects over here. Right. Our boxing right now is now prospects and guys who aren't good enough.
Yeah, I mean, they're good guys. They're good fighters, but they're just not proving yet. Let's just put it that way. They're not proving yet.
Derek Chisora is a proven fighter. We know what he's made of.
Yeah.
Like, there's an argument for Derek Chisora, win, lose, or draw, to have the best resume in the heavyweight division. There's an argument for that.
Yeah, that is true. That's true. That is true. What's up, C's?
Man, hey, I have a question for you, brothers. All right, check this out, man. So Brazil, like, I don't know the details of the contract, and I still find that, like, I still look at it with, like, I take it with a grain of salt because I don't think they're going to expose everything, right? They're just going to let us know what they want us to know, right? So we only know those details. But anyway, Brazil's supposed to be the first fight, well, by default because he's a mandatory.
Right.
But as far as the second fight, he has 3 different fighters he can choose from. Which one of these 3 fight, like, what of the 3 fighters, who would you prefer he choose? Of the 3 fighters.
That's a good question.
Fighters, the second fight of the 3 fighters.
I don't know.
So who are the 3 fighters? Fighters?
Yeah, the 3 fighters that they're offering him is
Vlad and
Vladimir Klitschko, White, and Usyk.
Mate, I'm gonna be honest. I want to see Wilder against Usyk.
They're all 3 good fights, man. It's hard to choose from, to be honest with you.
They all bring something different. The only reason I want to see Wilder against Usyk is I want to see if Usyk is really, because Usyk, it's undisputed cruiserweight champion moving up to fight against one of the biggest punchers in heavyweight history in terms of percentage. You know what I mean? In just percentage, he's one punch power proven.
Yeah,
I want to see that. Right, I just want to see it.
But look, this is what I was going with then. Because think about it like this: if we look at it that way, then yeah. But I don't know, like, would Usyk be the biggest, like, as far as pay-per-view and as far as you think he can get the most viewers?
No, biggest pay-per-view is Klitschko.
It's Klitschko, even on a 2-fight losing streak.
Even on a 2-fight losing streak, Vladimir Klitschko is probably the 3rd or 4th biggest name in the heavyweight division.
And basically only having like 2 fights in 4 years. Like,
he's still one of the biggest names in the heavyweight division, man. You can't have a 10-year title reign.
That'll be the biggest one overall. That'll be the biggest, right? Name-wise, right? Yeah.
Of those 3, yes.
Yeah. Name-wise, Vlad, definitely, right?
In the UK, Klitschko's probably more famous than Dillian White, even in the UK.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, he is.
No, here's a serious question. Do you believe Dillian White versus Joshua would do more pay-per-views than Joshua Klitschko did? I don't.
No, I don't think so.
Which says it. Which kind of says it all.
Right. I don't think so. Let's be truthful here. The reason why that Joshua and Klitschko pay-per-view was successful was because of Klitschko. Let's be truthful here. You know?
That was part of it. Look, beforehand, I think Joshua's biggest pay-per-view was 940,000. It shot up to 1.6 million. Klitschko brought in 650,000. White's biggest pay-per-view today is 425,000. So if White's biggest pay-per-view is 425,000, Klitschko brought in 600,000 pounds on his own. So that's
so name-wise, Vlad is definitely the biggest fight, but the one that you want to see would be Usyk, just because you want to see how pan out. How would he pan out at heavyweight, jumping from cruiserweight? But damn,
I'd want to see how he pans out against the elite, because I know that he's gonna beat average guys. He's gonna beat them. He was brilliant as an amateur, and even in the World Series of boxing, he was brilliant. He was beating top heavyweights that were prospects and stuff. He made Joe Joyce look like he's never punched a day in his life.
Yeah, he made Joe Joyce look bad though. But
now, Dan, don't duck the question, Dan. You still didn't answer it, bro. Don't duck it, bro. Come on.
All right.
All right, look, that was close. But look, don't duck it. What you got?
Oh man, all right. If you want me to be truthful, man, dude, this is probably probably one of the most toughest questions I have to answer, man. Because I really want 3 fights, to be honest with you.
Because all three of those guys are fucking. They all would be entertaining fights in one way or the other.
They're all brilliant fights. But, they are fantastic fights.
Right, but he want to see Usyk. I think I probably would want to see maybe even Usyk or Vlad. But what about you? Which one you got?
Dude, let's put it this way. If me personally, I probably would like to see the White fight, because there's history between the two. There's bad tensions between Wilder and White. There's not really too much tension.
It's UK versus US. It's UK versus US.
Well, not in that sense, but I'm talking about from a personal beef between the two, because Wilder and White, they have beef with each other. They don't like each other. So that makes it more entertaining from that perspective. But as far as Usyk versus Vlad, good fights, yes, but as far as building up, it'd be kind of like, because,
I think White and Wilder would be some fucking dirty trash talking, bro.
Yeah.
Because I think it'll get out of hand.
Yeah, that would be more entertaining, to be honest with you. That would be the build up be far more entertaining than a Usyk or a Klitschko build up.
I don't know. Have you seen Usyk and his build ups? I know he's funny as fuck. He's funny,
but the thing is that he doesn't trash talk. Is like if he was like a Ricardo Mayorga type of dude, then yeah, I'll say okay, yeah.
I don't know, man, about the trash talk thing. Did you see what he said to Glavatsky? Glavatsky said, "I'll beat this guy. I'll beat him." And Usyk looked at him, and he just looked into his eyes, and he just said, "I don't like liars like you. You're pathetic." I nearly pissed myself, man.
Look,
but let me just say this.
Talk shit though, bro. Like I like the way White talk.
Yeah.
It's just
all right,
like
let me before I get to the conversation, let me get PNC in here. What's up, PNC? PNC, unmute yourself.
Yo, what's up?
What's happening, dog? I know it's early, man, but I'm sure you heard the news. Wilder's been offered $50 million by Dazn, a 2-fight deal. What do you think about that?
Oh man, I think you gotta go ahead and take the deal, man. You know, if he wants to, unless he got something else. I mean, his advisors.
Here's the one thing we didn't discuss about this deal. I'll get to the comment section real quickly. The one thing we didn't discuss is that the deal sadly does not include an Anthony Joshua fight. So the way the zone outlined the deal is that you get a 2-fight deal. Obviously, down in Brazil is the first fight because that's your mandatory. You get $25 million for that fight. The second fight, you get 25 guaranteed. That the options either Dillian White, Vladimir Klitschko, or Alexander Usyk. So if you're successful in both of those fights, then the Dazn will negotiate with him about getting a bigger guarantee offer for the AJ fight.
I think he just I think he just go ahead take the deal, right?
Right.
He's not obligated to go back to the zone. You know what I'm saying? So
right, it's only 2 fights. It's only a 2-fight deal.
2 fights. Go and get his money. Brazil, that's almost a given. You know what I'm saying? then it'll be like White, you know, whoever, you know, for another 25 mil, and just bounce somewhere else. That's it. Cause old boy ain't gonna fight him. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, that give Tyson Fury, you know, an opportunity to get his feet wet over here in the States. And then he can just do something else, you know, next year. And then that'll be almost, 3 fights? If he can get another fight in, that'll be good, you know. So he 2 fights this year, and hopefully 3. And then do something next year, you know what I'm saying? Go and get paid.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think Showtime, here's the thing. Here's the way I see it. I think Al Heyman is advising him to wait until you get counter offers back from ESPN, Fox, and Showtime. Do you see either of those networks counter offering what the Zone's offering him?
Yeah, I can see it because you got to think about it. They already got Joshua, you know, so they got him tied up, and then all those other networks, you know, all you got is the lineal champion with ESPN. Showtime, they'll be out. You know what I'm saying? They'll be out
I agree.
Of the picture. So I think everybody else will. I think that's what's going on right now. Everybody's trying to get a hold of the heavyweight division because it's hot right now.
Right.
So I can see Showtime trying to get back in the game and offering those big deals like HBO and Showtime were doing like in the 90s, offering everybody all those contracts and stuff.
All right, but you think Fox would probably be the bigger player here because they're the one that has more of the bigger revenue than anyone else, other than ESPN. So
yeah, well, because the dude can do 3 million and X amount of million views without pay-per-view. So I don't know how they want to get their money, but it all depends on how much they just want to dispense. They already got fighters lined up. They got Dominic Brazil, Adam Kanecki. Miller be probably out, but Dillian White, he ain't got nothing going on. So you got like 3. You got a lot of heavyweight champions. I mean heavyweight.
Well, to be fair, Dillian White is more likely going to sign with ESPN, so he's going to be heading over there. So
yeah, but you know that's just the air. You know the fights and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The one who's in a better position is Wilder because he don't have a contract. So he's like a free agent. He's doing what like David Hay was doing.
Just like freelancing, basically going between networks on short-term deals, basically. Yeah, I mean, 2 fight deals for $50 million. Why not? That's a lot of money for only 2 fights.
Yeah, yeah. And then the other guy, he only offering half. Like $12 million. So.
Well, we'll see what the networks and what kind of offers they bring. But let me go to the comment section real quickly.
All right, man. I gotta
responding to McGregor real quickly about you guys losing all your UK Prime fighters like Joshua, Fury, and White. He said, "Don't worry, McGregor. You still got David Price." He said, "You still got." And Finks has asked you a question. He's saying, "McGregor, could you make it to the WBSS in Scotland? Would you go up there?"
I want to. So if I'm able to get tickets, I haven't seen any tickets yet. But if I'm able to get tickets, or somebody can source me, I'll pay for them. I'll go. I'll definitely go. I want to see a new way, man.
Yeah,
that's the shit right there, man. Like Josh Taylor against Relic. No, not Relic. Baranchik and Taylor. That's a fight you pay to go see all day.
Yeah, that's a damn good fight.
That's a hardcore boxing fans wet dream, that fucking tournament.
Hey man, Josh Taylor seems like a very complete fighter. Well, a pretty complete fighter. And he had a good fight with Victor Postol, man. Even though I feel like the fight was much closer than than
what the judges said.
Yeah, but it was a good, entertaining fight, man. Like, but what would you say about? Would you say if you actually notice any like kinks in his armor or anything? Would you say what would be his?
Well, he keeps himself very open. Patience. When
you think he's too aggressive? You think, or
yeah, he can be a little aggressive. Josh Taylor does.
You're saying he's too patient or he's too aggressive? What do you mean by patience?
He's too aggressive. He's not patient sometimes, and Josh Taylor does leave himself open most of the time too. He gets hit with counter drops upstairs because he goes to the body a lot. But sometimes if you go to the body too much, you're going to leave yourself wide open. And that's what Earl Spence tend to get in trouble for all the time. It's like he leaves himself wide open all the time when he goes to the body.
His biggest weakness is still his biggest strength because that aggressiveness is like when he's mixing it up high and low.
He's a good
to the body
fighter.
into the head. It's unbelievable. But he leaves gaps.
Yeah, he's a good offensive fighter. Right? But I think that's the thing. When you let your hands go, you open your face up to get punched. That's just how it is. So like, okay. So what that said, like y'all, but he seems like a pretty big dude for 140. Could you guys like imagine him going to 147 soon?
Yeah, I think I
could imagine him in 4 or 5 fights going to 147. To be honest.
Yeah,
he's big. He's
big. He's a big dude.
But he's not struggling to make weight. That's the good thing. He's not struggling.
That is true. He's not struggling to make weight, so he makes it very comfortably. But let me go back to the comment section real quickly. Nick says that I vote for Wilder versus Usyk to be the second fight. Tone says that Vlad has a massive fan base. Yeah, he does, particularly all over Europe. He does. AAA Boxing Blunt says Double A. I say AAA. Double A says that Klitschko was a big name in the UK even before he fought Fury. So him smashing Hay gave him a foothold in the UK market. That's true. It did.
It gave him a massive fan base in the UK market because David Hay was the biggest name at the time.
That's true. It did. Rock89 says that let Vlad rest in peace. I'm like, well, hey, man, if Vlad wants to come back, that's on him, man.
That's a good point. We might have to let Vlad rest in peace.
If Vladimir Klitschko comes back to fight Wilder and fights anywhere near the way he did against Joshua, I'm not going to complain because that's just a fucking fight. That's a good fight.
Yeah, that's a good fight. Yeah,
okay, so let's say that Wilder picked. Check this out, Dan. So let's say that Wilder picked Vlad, right? Which will be smart financially, right? So he picked Vlad as the second opponent if he fulfills the contract. All right. Mm-hmm. So how much credit are we going to give Wilder if Wilder beats Vlad? Or all the credit?
Good. I brought this up. That is a good question. To me,
considering that he's averaging 1 fight every 2 years, he's only fought 4 times in the last 2 years, and he's on a 2-fight losing streak. Like, how much credit are we going to give him?
That's the thing. I don't know, man, because here's the thing. Wilder may not get too much credit for being Klitschko like Joshua and Fury did. I mean, Fury I can understand because he ended his reign. It was Joshua. Okay, let's be fair.
But when Fury beat him, he wasn't coming off a loss, though, right?
No, he was on a winning streak.
He was on a 10-year winning streak, a 10-year title reign.
Right. That's when Fury beat him.
Okay. That's when Fury beat him. Yeah. But when Joshua beat him, he was on a 2-year layoff coming off a loss. So now here's the thing.
The thing that Joshua gets credit for is it was arguably Klitschko's best in-ring performance that we've seen. It was an unbelievable performance.
He looked good in that fight. I won't deny that. He looked good in the fight.
Nah, Joshua didn't look good. He gave a spectacular.
No. I mean Wilder. I'm sorry. I mean Vlad. Vlad looked good in the fight.
Yeah, Vlad looked good.
He was light on his feet.
I had Vlad winning that fight. I had Vlad winning going into the 11th. So.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing though. Wilder, here's the thing. He might get a little credit, but I don't know, man. It may not be the same though. If he does take that second, if the second fight, if should he sign the offer, he chooses Vladimir Klitschko in the second fight. I'm not sure, man. But
like, let that sink in. Dan, not like the fact that we have to kind of question this and wonder this. So should we just exclude him out of the pick of the litter or the three? We can kind of put him to the side. So it's either White or Usyk as far as is he going to get credit for these victories, right?
Well, here's the thing you can say though. If Wilder beats Klitschko, which if that fight does come off, we expect him to do that. If he does beat Klitschko, you could say, you know what? He does have a Hall of Fame on his resume, just like Joshua, just like Fury did. They both got all three of them got Hall of Fame wins on the resume.
Yeah,
but his is going to be the weakest, right? His is going to be the weakest, right?
Here's the thing. It might be the weakest, but I'm going to ask you a question, right? And it's a very simple question. Which of these three fights do you think is the most dangerous for Deontay Wilder?
I think Usyk could be the most dangerous one.
I actually think Klitschko is the most dangerous.
You think so?
He still got the power. He still have the power, but like I said,
he does hit hard. He can box. He can box. He can box, and he's awkward.
But even with this said, like I said, man, this is all risk for Wilder, that fight, right? Because I guarantee you, he didn't get credit for Ortiz. He didn't get credit for Fury. He's not gonna get credit for beating this fucking dude, for beating Vlad, man. He's not gonna get real credit.
I've given him credit. Right. I've given him credit myself. I gave him credit for the
majority of the consensus, if you go around, you look at comments, you listen to videos, and you read articles, then like I said, man, you know, like it's just, I don't know. I just doubt. I think it's all risk, and the only reward is the money. Well, he is a prize fighter, but like I said, if he looks bad versus Vlad, or if Vlad somehow upsets him, catch him with a good punch that we know Vlad can do, like it's just gonna make Wilder look that much worse. Than he's already getting hated.
But what if Vlad catches him with a punch and he gets off of the canvas and he knocks him out? Like he knocks him out.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. Yeah. But they're gonna here's the thing they're gonna say, McGregor. Some people are gonna look at that and say, you taking on Vladimir Klitschko in his weakest form, form of his career. You did that. But I'm like, well, isn't it fair to say that AJ did the same thing?
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, look, it's a double-edged sword when you say the consensus thing, because if you look over at it, there's fans who are saying that that Joshua beat the weakest Klitschko because Klitschko had just come off of the last 2-year layoff, as we've mentioned 4 times already here.
Yeah.
And it would happen again, and I said this earlier, the same thing would happen with Wilder, only that he's lost twice, right? Yeah. That'd be the only difference. On top of which, like, the main thing for me that I'm thinking about is I still think Klitschko coming back into the heavyweight division is a top 6 heavyweight.
Right.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. It's not like the heavyweight division is heavy. It's bottom heavy. It's not.
Because I would put heavy money on Klitschko to beat Dillian White.
Yeah, I think Klitschko will beat Dillian White. I hate to say that. I like Dillian, but I just don't see him winning that fight. He just doesn't have the. I just don't think he has the ring IQ to beat Vladimir Klitschko. To be honest with you, I just don't think he does. But we'll see. But let me.
And I think Vlad could also beat Usyk. By the way.
No, I don't know about that one, but I mean that one's tough.
I think Usyk might try to box him and steer it clear for a long time until he gets tired.
Circles and confuse Vladimir Klitschko like
try to drown him, right?
Yeah, but people who try to box with Klitschko's capable of one thing. Guys who are smaller than him, he's capable of making it very difficult for them.
That is true because he does have the strength advantage over them. He can lean on them. He can grapple them.
Very difficult because it's not just about the box. He's got a decent jab, but he will tie Usyk up and make that a doggy fight.
Yeah, he will do that. That is true. That is so true. But the thing is, Klitschko's going to have to be fighting in the States, though, because the zone's going to want him here. So he won't be able to get away with all that stuff here in the States.
The ref will break that shit up, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. But let me just go to the comment section real quickly. Ernest Terry says that, Fink says that Usyk is the safest and he wouldn't be Joshua's leftovers as far as Wilder's second opponent. Well, let me comment on that. First of all, Joshua and Wilder both have leftovers of each other, okay? Yes, Joshua's fight. I mean, Wilder's fighting down in Brazil, which is a Joshua leftover. I get that, but to be fair, Joshua does have a couple leftovers from Wilder on his resume himself. One is Jason Gavin, the other is Eric Molina. So the point is, I'm not trying to take jabs at Joshua, but the point is that heavyweights are going to tend to fight each other's leftovers. Why? Because there is no moving up in weight. There's no moving down in weight in the heavyweight division. So
Dan, we can't call Jason Gavin Deontay Wilder's leftovers. He's everybody's leftovers. He's everybody's leftovers.
That is true.
He's not even a leftover. He's a left behind, man. Come on.
That is true. But the
fact he's been beaten by everybody with a pulse.
Well, that's true. Wilder beat him before Joshua did, and Joshua fought him a year later after Wilder fought him. But the fact is,
wait, is this true? I can't remember, but is this true? Does Jason Gavin have a win over James Toney?
Yeah, he does. I think he does.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
I think he does. Let me check. Let me look at that. I think he does.
I think that was on Prize Fighter in the UK. That was on like the UK Prize Fighter thing. James had won 2 fights and then he fought against Gavin and lost.
Yeah, let me.
That was on one night.
Yeah, I think he does. But let me take a look. Jason Gavin.
That was an old James Toney.
Yeah, he actually fought James Toney and he beat him. Yeah. He beat James Toney. Yeah, he did.
Hey, speaking of James Toney, Dan, like I was thinking about this the other day, man. Like, do you realize that like we all know one thing in boxing for the most part, all right? Even the best fighters in the division, they're not that much better. There's not that much of a gap between them and the other, top 5 guys or top 3 guys or the other belt holders. Like, they may be better by, it might be obvious. Aesthetically, we can see it. This guy's faster. This guy's a little bit faster. This guy's a little bit more athletic. This guy's a little bit slicker. This guy has a little bit more power. Whatever the case may be. But think about it. How Roy Jones, like we talking about James Toney. James Toney is an all-time great. Roy Jones destroyed all those guys in his prime. He was that much better. Like he was like light years better than all of his opponents, man, when he was in his prime. And like guys like B-Hop and all these guys, like he just made it easy. You know what I mean? He just made it easy, bro. He was that dynamic, like that athletic, that he was just that great of a fighter, bro.
Yeah, he is, man. But yeah, to be fair though, like I said, just it's a fake point. I mean, all the heavyweights are going to be fighting each other's leftovers. There's no other way to describe it. Yeah. I mean, Joshua fought Povetkin, which was a Klitschko leftover, right? So let's be real. So yeah, because they're all.
Can I respond to somebody in your chat real quick? Can I respond to someone in your chat real quick? Sure. Ernest Toney, go do your homework on the lineage before you tell other people to. The Ring magazine, which is owned by Oscar De La Hoya, which is correct, is not the lineal championship. The Ring magazine championship started 42 years after the lineal line. I think you need to go and do your homework on that one, buddy.
Yeah. It's not the lineal championship. It's not okay. Yeah, the Ring magazine. Yes, they have their own champion, but it's not the official lineal status. It's not at all.
Okay? It's not the Junior One article. It's not this.
It's just been that a lot of Ring champions just happen to have been lineal champions.
That's true. That is true. I mean, that's to be fair, that is true. So, but the lineal championship is not an actual. I mean, you can say it's an imaginary.
Just to say it like this, yeah. If the lineal champion is the Ring champion, who's the lineal champion at 168?
That'd be Callum Smith. If you want to go that, if you want to use that term.
No, factually, there isn't a lineal champion.
No, there is no. Yeah, I know what you're saying. There's no lineal champion. But I thought your line of questions that
no, based on what he's saying, Callum Smith is. But there is no lineal champion at 168. But there's a Ring champion at 168.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Yeah. I know that, but I thought that's what you were asking based off his line of questioning. So okay.
No.
Okay.
I mean,
but why is that?
There's a lot of examples. Why is it? Because he won the Ring magazine put their title on the line as part of the final of the World Boxing Super Series, right?
Yeah.
However, Callum Smith didn't beat the number one guy in that division at the time because there wasn't a consensus between different governing bodies of who the number one was. There is
so
no
they couldn't
number
come with
one at super
one.
middleweight.
Okay, so they all can come together and choose one guy, the sanctioning body.
Well, you know what, though? Here's the thing, McGregor. I had to say this. Sometimes it depends. It's kind of confusing in a way, or it depends on the discretion of who they grant lineal status to, in a way, who they'll grant the lineal opportunity for in certain fights. The reason I say that is because let's go back to the Mikey Garcia and the Sergey Lipinets fight. When that fight was called, you know, Lipinets was a champion at 140 for the IBF title, and Mikey Garcia was moving up in weight to fight him. The lineal status was put on the line for that fight, and Sergey Lipinets was not even the number one rated light welterweight at the time. Mikey Garcia's first fight is at 140 against the guy, and Mikey Garcia beat the guy, and he was granted the lineal championship by beating him. You know,
that's true. I can't argue with that.
So I mean, by that, but the way you explained that, just broke it down, Dan. That's how, so. In other words, like I'd rather be number one, be seen as the number one guy, than be lineal. If you know what I'm saying, because if they don't go hand in hand, like it seems like it's something totally different, right? You know,
it's one of these things that there's no governance on lineal, and if we're being perfectly honest, at this stage, anybody can say anybody's lineal. That's kind of how it works.
Because I was thinking,
one of the only guys who's a true lineal champion right now is Usyk, because he is undisputed. That was seen to be the way that you gained lineage after lineal was broken, was by unifying all of the belts. That was the way it was done, or you beat the clear number 1/number 2 with fight in a division.
Okay,
like Floyd and Pac.
So who broke the lineal at 147? I mean, what happened after Floyd broke the lineal when he retired at 147?
What happened?
Okay,
what
so
happened
they
was
marketed Pacquiao and Bradley. They marketed Floyd retired with lineal, and they marketed Bradley and Pacquiao as lineal. However, a lot of people didn't agree with that, so there is no actual 100% on the lineal. Technically, if you go with the marketing plan of Top Rank at the time, the lineal champion right now should actually be Terence Crawford.
Right, that's what I was getting to. But so anyway, but if not, right, then it's broken off at Floyd, right? So
it was broken off at Floyd, and
how will it get picked up again?
How will lineal be picked up? I would say that there needs to be at least a three belt unification with a ring magazine title. So
just under undisputed. Like
I would say that's good enough for me. I mean, if let's say Crawford fights against Sean Porter and he becomes unified, right? And
so that's two. Right?
And then he beats Keith Thurman, and they put the ring belt on the line. I would have no problem calling Crawford the lineal champion. I'd have absolutely no issue with it. Even though he hasn't fought Spence, he's beaten everybody unified and become ring champion.
So Dan, all right. So what y'all telling me is that the ring belt would have to be like the +1 with another with another title or with a major title, right?
Yeah, it would have to be a +1 because having a ring belt by itself does not make you a world champion. I'm just being
right.
It does not make you. But some fighters like Bernard Hopkins, who held the ring title for a long time at light heavyweight, gets that credit. And the reason, it's kind of that's where this thing gets convoluted, because at the time at the light heavyweight division, when you had Hopkins, you had Tarver, you had Jones at the time, who was on his way out to the extent. And you had who else you had there? You had Chad Dawson, you had Clinton Woods and Thomas Automac. Those guys, I go on and on, and Pascal. I can go on and on and on. At the time, the lineal champion was so early when those guys were fighting, and nobody knew who the hell that guy was. Literally didn't know who he was. There's guys on here who didn't even know that he was a lineal champion during the time when those guys were fighting at the light heavyweight division back then. I mean, this guy was hiding out. Yeah, he was hiding out in Germany. All right, fight with that lineal WBO title. Okay, the WBO light heavyweight title. All right, he was hiding out after he beat Julio Cesar Gonzalez. Right, the same guy that ended Darius Michael Zhuski's reign as a lineal champion. Right. So when Julio Cesar Gonzalez beat him, he fought again. He fought So Erdy. So Erdy beat him. So Erdy was fighting a bunch of freaking nobodies. All these WBO mandated fights that nobody gave a fuck about. Okay, and the fact is that this guy just had a very, very. I had to say his run as a light heavyweight champion is like on par with. I wouldn't be, you know what, I'm not going to go that far because I was going to compare him to Spinaki, but at least Spinaki actually fought some credible opponents during his reign as a super middleweight champion. But the fact is that this guy fought a bunch of freaking nobody. his last fight, he fought a way over the hill at cruiserweight, over the hill Brian Mitchell, who's a natural 168-pound guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, that's how bad this guy's reign was as a light heavyweight champion, as a lineal champion. But let's be realistic. He was the lineal champion. But did many people would say he was better than Hopkins or Tarver or Dawson, those guys?
No, I think...
Who are we talking about right now? So Erdy. Oh. Yeah, wasn't Zoltarian the Hungarian guy who was like 5-year lineal?
Yes, he was.
And then he vacated and Pascal picked it up, didn't he?
No, Pascal picked it up when he beat Dawson.
No, that's what I mean. Pascal picked it up after it was vacated by beating Dawson. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Dawson was a lineal champion going into that fight because he beat Hopkins for that title. That's what happened. Because Hopkins became the lineal.
No, because Dawson won it from Hopkins in 2012.
Well, wait.
Pascal was lineal before Bernard Hopkins.
That's right. Yeah, it was
because Bernard Hopkins beat Jean Pascal for it. Who did Pascal beat for that title? Is what I'm wondering.
That's good. Well, that's true because it was vacant lineal title. Yeah, Pascal and Dawson fought for the vacant lineal title. That's what happened. And then
I'm trying to remember who.
What's up?
Pascal beat Chad Dawson. Beat Pascal. Then Chad Dawson beat her.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. So yeah, Pascal and Dawson fought for the lineal title. It was vacant. It was vacant at the time. Was already vacated it. Yeah. So yeah, that's how it happened.
I'm gonna go find out. I'm gonna go to when he became lineal champion. I'm gonna go look at his
go ahead.
box record.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Dawson.
Yeah. So that's how it happened. But the fact is, my point is that when Hopkins and those guys were reigning, while Erdy was the lineal champion, quote unquote, nobody even knew who the guy was because he refused to fight outside of Germany. He
kept the belt. He kind of kept the belt hostage over there in Germany, right?
Yeah, he did. He kept it hostage over there, and that's why.
Can you say, Dan? Would you say there's a good 3 or 4 guys that at that time that could have beat him? That that he didn't.
Oh man, all those light heavyweights that I mentioned would have beaten Erdy. All of them. Okay.
Not just Chad Dawson, not just B Hop, you feel like there's a couple more besides just like Chad Dawson, B Hop, and
hell, Clinton Woods could have beaten Erdy. Okay, I'm gonna just be real. Clinton Woods, okay, light heavyweight, he could have beaten him. All right, that's just how bad this guy was. I mean, he was an okay, decent fighter, but I wasn't really high on the guy. All right, I'm telling you right now, if you look at that man's resume. Look, it's just terrible, man. It's just not that good. His only significant win, I'm going to just be real. He only had 2 significant wins. The only 2 guys I recognize is Brian Mitchell, who's a blown-up fucking super middleweight with Eddie fought at cruiserweight, okay? And then you have Julio Cesar Green. Those are only 2.
There's one other that I know.
Julio Cesar Gonzalez. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say Frogomani when he beat him for the cruiserweight title.
Right.
Well, I mean, because Frogomani was a proven European champion and he had a great fight with David Haye.
Well, that's true. He did beat him too, so I forgot about him. Yeah. So he did. Yeah, he fought Frogomani. That's a decent win, but still though, his resume is still kind of bad. It's just not that. Yeah, it's still not that good. As far as the other light heavyweights is concerned, no, it's not that good.
Is Zoltarian a 2-weight world champion?
Yeah, he is.
Cruiserweight and light heavyweight? That's crazy. What's up, BJ?
What's that? What are we talking about, man?
No, we're just having. Somebody brought up this lineal stuff in the chat about debate about the Ring magazine being the lineal title and McGregor had to prove the guy wrong.
I thought it was though.
Ernest Terry. But we were just debating on lineal. What's the significance of lineal champion versus the other champions? We had this debate before, but it is what it is.
It's weird though, because when it was the normal title, it looks like the Ring magazine title, because the Ring magazine title, because when it came to the politics, the sports writers discussed who was the lineal, like it was Spence and Mike Tyson.
Right.
So they unanimously agreed that Spence was the lineal champion because they could trace it back as far as they can. So when they gave
historically the Ring champion is the lineal champion. Historically, the Ring champion is the lineal, but not the lineal is the Ring champion.
Yeah. But whichever way you put it, what I'm trying to say is the belt design, right, of the actual. If you look at the world champion, remember there was this one belt. It's the same belt. If you look at what Ali had and Rocky Marciano, it's the same belt. It's the same design as the Ring magazine. So when you use the Ring magazine belt, what it is, because of all them sanctioning belt, what they did, because basically that belt design was disregarded when the IBF, OBA, and WBA came in. That belt was disregarded. So what the sports writers, they reclaimed that, had the design and said the Ring magazine. So the sports writers got together and they discussed amongst each other who was the guy. Now normally when you got that belt, you had to get 3 belts and then they'll give you that and say you was the number 1, right? So what happened with Spence? Well, because Ali, Mike Tyson never fought Spence, they wasn't going to give him that title. That's why Ali had to fight him, and then he was like the manual guy. That's what it was. But what they've changed now with the Ring magazine, you only need to get 2 titles and they'll give you the Ring magazine. Hence, because the Ring magazine has the same design as the original belt, then they say that's the lineal, right? That's the way it's going. But the lineal can always be traced by, they're always going to be that. Like if you look at any division and you've got different champions, yeah, who would you say was lineal? But you'd have to go by who beat the guy, who beat the guy, who beat the guy, and further down the thing. But when you unify the belt, then you start a new lineage. You know what I'm saying? When you unify the belt. So basically, what happened is the Ring magazine and the sports writers, Dan Raphael, what's his name? Doug Fisher, and Fat Dan and them guys there. They all come together and they say, yo, they all debate amongst themselves for about good hours as well. Seriously, debate for hours and they say, well, this guy's number 1. But it seems like Oscar De La Hoya and certain things now, he's like trumped that and just said, well, look, we're the Ring magazine. We're the Bible of boxing. We're just gonna say that Canelo is pound for pound. Not only is he pound for pound, because no one can tell you nothing because you bought the Ring magazine. Not only is he pound for pound, but he's the middleweight champion. Now, I can't dispute the middleweight championship. I'm not going to dispute he's not the middleweight champion, but the pound for pound number 1, that's another thing. But the Ring magazine carries that much weight that everything was for it. The pound for pound went for it. Also, the linear belt went for it. So, but the thing is, this is the good thing about social media. Now, because of social media and us guys on these forums and stuff like that, now the sports writers may put who they want, but that doesn't really go along with what we say. And we're debating once we debate each other. We're more honest, and we're less agenda driven about who we think is the champ. I don't care what they say. Right? We're gonna pull it on it and really put it for a fine tooth comb and make sure that whoever's gonna be that guy, and we can even bring evidence to back up our claim. Now we haven't got the legit claim, but we do cover weight. We do cover weight because our fan base and our subscribers are influenced by what we say, and people realize that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a dispute, but at the end of the day, most of the time when they put things out and they're agenda driven, like I with Canelo pound for pound number 1, I'm like, yo, come on, bro. Like some of them decisions were quirky, and like at the end of the day, what is pound for pound? So we can dispute that. But having saying that, you know, most of the time we do always carry on line, but it's good. It's all good talking boxing anyway. So it's always been good debate. So, but
it is a good debate.
What I read from it,
let me ask EJ and Lo just got in the chat. So I'm sure you guys heard about the report that came out. Deontay Wilder's offering $50 million deal for the zone, 2-fight deal. Now here's the thing that does get a little sketchy here about this. He's offered 2 fights. Obviously, the first fight, $25 million. That's Dom Brazil. Obviously, that's his mandatory.
Have you signed?
He hasn't decided yet, but this is what's been offered: $25 million. And then for the Dom Brazil fight, the other 25 will be an opponent of his choice. It'll be either Klitschko, it'll be Usyk, or it'll be Dillian White. So he could choose one of those 3 as a second fight. But
it's nice.
Yeah, but the Joshua fight is not included in the deal. So the way it's outlined, the way it's outlined is that, okay, the Joshua fight is not included, but should you be successful in those 2 fights, then they'll come to the table to discuss a bigger offering for the Joshua fight. So the thing is, though, do you guys think he should take it? What do you think was going to happen from here?
I think he should take it. The Dominic Brazil one, that's a rivalry. Dillian White, knock out your other guy. If you knock out them 2, basically you're knocking out the guys who are basically on your thing. Dillian White and Brazil, you have to fight anyway.
Yeah,
I think you go that Klitschko is going to be a little haggling, maybe. You know, Klitschko always wants parity because he might feel he's a big draw, but he's a Hall of Famer. Having a Hall of Famer on your resume is nice, and you might do it quicker than Joshua, which you could do quicker than Joshua because Klitschko's been out the ring quicker. You know what I mean? Out of the ring longer.
Well, yeah, let me ask you this, EJ. Let me ask you this. It goes on to the Klitschko then. Should he take the Klitschko second fight? Do you think he'll deserve the same amount of credit for beating him as Joshua did? Because that's the one thing I'm worried about, to be honest with you, as a Wilder fan.
All right. Let me put it like this, yeah? Floyd winning against Manny Pacquiao. Floyd winning against Otto De La Hoya. No. He went against Ricky Hatton. Beat him in the 11th or 10th round, one of them ones there. Pacquiao beat him in the thing. Look how much credit Pacquiao got because he beat him quicker.
That's true. That is a good point. Right? That is a good point. Yeah. He'll get
credit. If you go in there and bomb Crooksy up, no one's ever did that. If you bomb him out in 2 rounds, actually, Corey Sanders done him in. I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah, Corey Sanders did him in. That's when he was in his prime. But but people are going to say, though. They're going to say, well, Klitschko's been out of the ring for 2 years, and he's definitely not in the condition that he was when he fought Fury or Joshua. That's what people are going to say. But I would be honest, I disagree with that because, first of all, Joshua fought Klitschko 2 years after he lost his fight to Fury.
Yeah.
So people can't argue that Klitschko was the same guy when Joshua fought him. So, to your point, you're probably right because people are going to try to discredit if Wilder were to choose to fight him in the second fight and beat him. People are going to say, oh, you took advantage of a guy who's old, who's been out of the ring all the time. He's not the same guy. I'm like, well, did Joshua do the same fucking thing?
There's still the argument that Klitschko has the fire under his stomach because when he fought against Joshua, he was like a man possessed. And if he comes in against Wilder, the same kind of mentality, you just have to give the credit because he's the type of guy who can't take a loss. He's a control freak of the highest level, like the highest level. So
here's the question, McGregor. What if Wilder gets Klitschko out of here in the first round or two? What happens?
If he knocks Klitschko out in a round or two, man, it's only happened once before.
They're gonna say he's washed up. They're gonna say they're not gonna.
People will say he's washed up all they want. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say fuck me. He knocked Klitschko out in a round.
Yeah. So Mike, and then you know what? They're gonna want the AJ fight even bigger. It's gonna make it even more tastier, bro. You know what I mean? Because Fury went the distance. AJ stopped him, and Wilder stopped him even quicker.
So you can look at it as a case of a declining fighter, or you can look at it as a case of we're having comparisons. And it just makes it more interesting. And Wilder got a draw against Fury, and Joshua's not fought him.
So one by his mother sucker boy. Klitschko go out around, praise Wilder, get on your knees, pull his shorts down, give him a blowjob. Stevenson knocked goddamn Dawson out one punch. He's shot, he done. Then you won by his mother's. But I agree with you. He need to do it in early and quick and don't need to be in there with that man that's been out for a long time. But Wilder got a history with
Are you calling me biased?
Wilder got a history with. Is your name Dan? You know you didn't hear your name get called.
What did you say about me? I was on mute. Wait. What did you say about me being biased? Go ahead.
You real biased. You talking about Klitschko getting knocked out in the round, this, that. Wilder needs to get the credit. But when
I didn't say he needs to get credit. No, I didn't say that. You misconstruing my words, bro. I did not say that. I asked you. I asked EJ and McGregor can listen. I didn't say that Wilder deserves credit. I'm asking you guys, do you think he should get the same amount of credit as Joshua beat him? I'm asking you.
Yeah, you know the answer you wanted, though. I'm asking
you. I'm not saying you're right or wrong.
You said that's what I'm worried about. You said that's what I'm worried. Is he gonna get the same kind of credit? That's what I'm worried about. Like you need him to get the credit for. You said it. I'm gonna tell you what you said. But I'm asking you.
I'm asking you now. Do you think he should get the same credit?
It's okay. It's okay. If he if he knock him out in the round, they can say what they want because they ain't gonna know the truth.
I'm asking you.
You ain't around no more. That's it.
I'm asking you. Does Wilder deserve the same amount of credit?
I don't think Wilder needs to take a 2-fight deal. I think Wilder needs.
See, there you go.
No. I want to see where you going with this. Why do you need to take 2 fights? Why don't the man? He messed up.
Fight AJ immediately, right?
He messed up. This is where he messed up. He's so worried about what everybody's gonna say about him and Eddie Hearn's situation. Now he done took the Joshua fight and he done extended it to a year. He gonna have to take tough fights, and if you look like shit in those fights, Joshua may look and say,
So,
I really don't even care about fighting.
Let me ask you this. So you don't think Deontay Wilder should take this deal?
I think Deontay Wilder need to sit down with Eddie Hearn and work out the 3-fight deal.
Man.
Mandatory.
I don't like the fact. Look,
AJ twice. Why are you mad at mandatory?
Early.
Why are you mad at mandatory then AJ twice? Why are you mad at that?
What?
Why would you be mad? That's the first deal Eddie Hearn said.
I want to see him fight AJ ASAP. That's what I want to see.
So okay, so you're willing to wait a year. You're willing to wait a year.
Listen to me. Hold up. I would prefer. Earlier, we talked about it. I would prefer I wish that they had the AJ fight within those first 2 fights of the contract. Like,
and
if it's a 2-fight contract, why the fuck AJ fight ain't in there?
It's his fault. You know, that's what I'm telling you.
Anything can happen. What if he loses?
I'm telling you, it's your boy's fault.
What if they just take the fucking belt from him? You know what I'm saying? What if it's a close fight and he lose? Right. Now, look, I'm just saying. Is the contract signed?
It's his fault that they ain't even going that direction.
But if it ain't signed yet, they're still
more than likely we see the direction we going. If you got Eddie Hearn saying I'm not even at the table, Wilder's request when he was willing to give him AJ late this year.
No, he was not doing that.
Man, look,
that was not going to happen.
He said a 3-fight deal with 2 AJ fights. Dan, that's his words. He said,
well, how much money he was offered for the fight other than $15 million?
$15 million for Dominic Brazil. If that ain't more than enough, then I don't know what the hell is.
Who you to say that's more than enough? Come on, Lo.
Well, I mean, shit. Come on, man. Who else? All right, I did the math. Who else is making more than $1 million even?
It ain't about
Dominic Brazil.
It ain't about that. What? When you get your first offer, like most of the time, you're not even supposed to deal with. You're not even supposed to accept the initial offer.
All right. Well, I think.
Well, all right. Here's it is. The bottom line is that you hating on this deal. Why are you hating on the deal? The man's offer.
I like the first one better. I'm not hating on it. That's the one.
You are.
It's just not better than the first. It's not better for me as a boxing fan as the first.
You talking about it's a lot more money than what Eddie Hearn's offering. It's a lot more.
25 mil.
If you 15 million and then you fight AJ twice, then boom, that's 3 fights. You're done.
Wait a minute. Where was this talk? Wait. Where was this talk when Stevenson rejected the first Hopkins offer for the fight? What was this talk then?
We don't even agree there. We don't agree there.
No, come on, man. You gotta be consistent. You
don't have no facts, and it's something I'm not gonna talk about with you.
Nah, you can't, dude.
Look. Answer this question. Is it just me? Like, are y'all cool with Hearn always releasing details of a contract that he made an offer? No, I'm just saying, no one else does that shit, right? Can you think of any other promoters that, generally people got to dig to find out information like that? But, he willingly just, tells you, look, $5 million.
Basically came out and told his Fury contract. Promoters do that.
Aaron actually had the correct guys on the Fury contract because a lot of them believe that 80 million. A lot of them believe that the 80 million.
Let me ask Lo this question. Why are you upset that Wilder could possibly get 25 million?
I was upset, Dan.
You are upset.
I wanted to see.
You are upset. You seem bitter.
He takes that deal. If he takes that deal, that's his deal. But it doesn't guarantee us a Joshua fight. And what I want to see is the 4 belts on the line. And I think it should be a 3-fight deal that includes the job instead of him.
That's his own job to offer that deal.
Well, no. It's not the zone. It wouldn't be.
They're the ones who put the money up.
Man, can I make my point? When I got on here, you went to EJ. EJ made his damn point. I get on here, you try to argue through every 3 words.
Yeah.
Make your point that way, bro.
Make your point.
I can't make your point that way.
Yeah, make your point.
Eddie Hearn jumped out. And he was the first guy that said, look, the market value for you to fight Brazil is boom, astronomical amount, more than you ever made. Come get it. Okay. Now when Eddie Hearn made him that offer, he said, and once you do that, we're gonna guarantee you Joshua twice. Deontay Wilder came out and said, I don't want to sit at the table with him. And now the DAZN executives are at the table instead of Eddie Hearn, and they're pushing the fight with Joshua back and saying, take this fight. And if I don't want no and if I want the Brazil get beheaded or Brazil, and then we move into the damn 4 belts. It's not mad that he gonna take this one. I'm just showing you as a boxing fan, it ain't the best deal for you either.
What do you want the man to do?
I just said it. Bring Eddie Hearn to the table, do the 3-fight deal.
I don't know. Look, I look at it like this. You applauded Tyson Fury for using the Deontay Wilder fight, his performance in that fight, and also the looming rematch to his advantage, and use it as bargaining chips to get him the big contract for ESPN. You applauded him for those smart financial moves to use that. Then, like, why would you have a problem with Wilder using?
I applauded them for playing who played him. They robbed him.
See, he not being consistent, bro. I'm
telling you exactly what I said from the beginning. I'm telling you exactly.
I didn't even get to the second half.
They thought a chest hair agreement got broken because they thought they couldn't play that dope kid.
Here we go with the chest hair agreement.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning, man. Come on, no chest hair
agreement. I ain't got no reason to play these people. Why? I mean, more than likely.
Why not, Lo? He got played. Look, Hearn. So you're saying Hearn wasn't lowballing him in the beginning, right?
Now he's coming around. Got played too,
right? So look, maybe he can get these 2 fights for $50 million. And then, you know what I'm saying? Maybe and then from there, he can maybe bargain and pitch and bargain his way from there.
Maybe.
But what if he leaves after the 50? What if he don't fuck with Hearn anymore after the 50 million?
Well, that's his decision. I want to see 4 belts in the ring. I didn't give a shit about who playing who. I didn't want Tyson.
You did when Fury played Wilder. You cared.
Remember?
Come on, love. Come on, man.
You applauded that fight when you knew you shouldn't have because you're a fanboy.
What, the rematch? The first fight was exciting. It was a great fight.
Right? You knew that man was in the ring with Wilder.
See, he going on the hate rate again, bro.
You thinking for me. You trying to think for me. You don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking
it was 10-1 on YouTube that Wilder was knocking him out in a few rounds.
It's 10-1 that Wilder knock out every fucking body he fights.
He fights nobody. That's the reason why.
There you go.
Also, Ortiz is a nobody. Ortiz is a nobody. Okay. All right.
You can make an argument that Wilder has fought.
That guy struggling with a UK bum. I wouldn't mention him anymore.
A UK bum. Okay.
See, you can't even be. You can't even be congratulated to do.
Lo. Who would you rather Wilder fight if he signs this 2-fight contract deal? Who would you want him to fight in the second fight? White?
Who you want to fight?
No, White. I'm asking you, who would you prefer him to fight?
I don't care.
Oh man, you're not a boxing fan. There you go.
Come on, this dude, man.
Wait, hold on. Let me get in here. I don't think it's fair to say the dude isn't a boxing fan because he wants to see the undisputed fight before he wants to see against White or.
But we all want to see that fight.
I think we all
want to see the AJ fight, but that's not the scenario I gave him. The circumstances I gave him. I'm not jumping from joy. I asked you a question.
$50 million attached to the man's name, and you woke up like,
I don't care about the $50 million. What I asked you was who would you rather see between Usyk, Vladimir, or White?
You can cancel that shit. You take that Usyk fight, you can cancel a thought of AJ getting in the ring.
Why ask you a question? Because you think you don't even want to answer the question.
Man, I'm telling you, I done told you before, the boy can't beat half the people.
All right, see, he's not happy that Wilder's got this deal. He was hoping he's going to get a low ball. So
I don't care about the deal. I want the AJ fight to happen. That's what I want to fight.
That's what he was hoping for.
Hey, wait,
Wilder to be broke.
No, please. What do you think about Wilder getting 25 mil for the first fight? What do you think?
Pay him what they want to pay him. I mean, shit, it is what it is. I don't wish no ill will toward him, but damn, what's the point in 2 fights of not unifying the titles? What's the point?
But AJ don't want to fight him anyway. AJ's not looking to fight him. Why is Anderson Wilder but AJ fighting Big Baby Miller, so he's not trying to fight him either.
Well, that's your take on it. I don't agree with that. That's you pushing that nonsense, and the man been calling for 4 belts. They both have, and I'm tired of people.
That's not true. Because initially everyone knew that Eddie Hearn said he was supposed to fight Dillian White. So how am I pushing that?
It don't matter who he's supposed to fight. He got to one. Eddie Hearn told him 3 fights. Excuse me.
Let me ask you a question.
Mandatory and the 4 belts. It ain't no question to ask. Mandatory and the 4 belts.
No. I'll ask a direct question. Who was the one who was the one pushing to get all the belts unified first initially?
It don't matter. We here now.
It was Wilder.
I know AJ got there first. That's all that counts. I don't care.
He didn't even mention his name. He didn't even mention his name.
Triple G was the first person pushing all the belts. That's who started. That's who started all the belts in this era.
No, we're talking about heavyweight division though. You have to stay consistent.
It don't matter who started it. Who was there got all of them damn near. That's what I'm worried about.
It does. No, actually it does. AJ didn't.
Why don't he got him? Why don't he got him then?
Because AJ don't want to fight him.
Yeah. AJ got 3 belts because Wilder don't got them. That's why. And now we have 4, and you want to go back to 4 years. I'm not interested in going back. I'm interested in the 3-fight deal, or if he even make this deal, I hope he just can win the fights better than he did with Fury, because Dazn probably ain't going to give him no Al Heyman scorecard. If Usyk get in there and slap him up, and if Usyk get in there and slap him, I advise them not to put Usyk in the ring with him. Okay,
right?
Don't do it.
Easy. That's why.
That would be a good fight. I want to see good fights, though. Like, I don't hear about why fights shouldn't be made.
Wilder go in there. Wilder was sleep Usyk, bro. Wilder was sleep.
Okay.
It was sleeping. Right. As soon as you get hit, it was sleeping. Like Usyk can't do it, Wilder, bro.
Man, Wilder better hope he sleep Brazilian. That's who he better hope he sleep.
He'll sleep Brazil and he'll sleep Usyk. Trust me. Every man that's been in the ring, every man that's been fucking hit the dust. Everyone. I know Fury's the only one to get up. Actually, even what's his name, Dazn, he went down in the first fight, bro. But everyone hits the dust. Everyone. And Usyk will not be the same. As soon as he get touched, bro, he's going down. You want to put Usyk in there? Go be my guest, bro. Usyk's gonna have the reach disadvantage. He's gonna have the arm reach disadvantage. Wilder's fast as well. And Wilder was
stronger than Usyk too. Yeah,
Wilder
stronger than Usyk.
Bro. Yeah. Bust him up all over the place, bro. Mr. Bashir don't agree though. Mr. Bashir says Usyk will beat him now.
Yeah, I said this about several that he had all them advantages.
I think we'll see. I think we'll see what we see all the time when we see with Wilder fights. He might be losing on the cards, or he might start off slowly or whatever. But at the end of the day, he's gonna knock you the fuck out.
That's right.
I think he's too athletic, and most of the advantages that Usyk has over most cruiserweights, he won't have those advantages over Wilder.
Athletic,
you see what I'm saying?
Dazn got knocked down, bro. Dazn got knocked down in the first fight, bro. You see when he's on American football tackle, he tried to take Wilder down. He got knocked down. They didn't count as a knockdown, but he got knocked down in the first fight.
Can I say something, EJ? Let me say something. Unbiased is not a Wilder fan. We all know that. But yeah, he's a congratulatory that Wilder has got this offer. He said, you know what? Unbiased said, you know what? I may not be a Wilder fan. Essentially said this, but I'm happy that he's got this type of deal. I think he should take it because this is something he's worked hard for. I may not like the guy, but I have to admit that that his he has raised his profile and he's earned his money. So why can't you say that? Why can't you say that Unbiased is safe for Wilder, bro? Low place.
He can take whatever deal he want to take. I want the undisputed title fight this year. I don't want to drag out fight. I don't want to drag out a next year fight.
Talk to your boy AJ, innit?
It's not AJ. It's the executives of Dazn who are now talking instead of Eddie Hearn giving the deal that he gave.
Exactly. You know why?
No.
Eddie Hearn told them. Yeah, because Eddie Hearn told him no circumstance that we're gonna make the fight. Because Eddie Hearn,
he already came out and said it. Once again, you pushing a narrative that's your opinion as a fact, and that shit, that's the type of shit that just need to stop, y'all. Like that just needs to stop. The man came out in the interview and he started this whole Dazn talk. Eddie Hearn started all the Dazn talk.
Well, let's be fair. Wait. Let's be fair. Let me say something.
Okay, all right. That's not.
Yeah, let me just say something. EJ. Let's be real. The reason why Dazn are involved because Hearn couldn't get the job done. Let's be real.
Boom! Exactly.
He could not get the job done.
Get the job done. 15 million. He heard 15 million for Dazn. He heard 15 million for one fight, and then he said, matter of fact, if you blow him out, Brazil out in that fight, we can get it close to 50-50 for the AJ Wilder. And then instead of listening further, Wilder got on interview after interview. And then he came up with the concept that I'm just
talking a lot of stuff that makes no sense, bro. First of all, the Hearn could not get the job done. It's not just goes beyond the Deontay Wilder fight. It goes beyond the fact that he couldn't deliver the fighters that he promised them. That's another thing that goes to the point. It says Hearn couldn't get the job done from a preliminary standpoint. That's why they're intervening.
Who didn't he deliver? Who didn't he deliver?
He didn't deliver Wilder. He didn't deliver Mikey Garcia. He didn't deliver Javon.
Dazn is not the ones asking him to move aside and let them do it. Wilder asks. Wilder came out. Dan,
Lord.
Wilder came out and said, "I'm
it's not just Wilder, bruh. I'm telling you, listen to me. They're not going after.
Who did you hear say this? I got facts. Who'd you hear say it? Your
First of all,
speculation.
Eddie Hearn was the one that went out there and said,
"Are you speculating?"
No, Eddie Hearn was the one that went out there and gave various interviews saying that we're going to sign the big fighters. I'm going to show everybody how it's done here. We're going to get the Mikey Garcias. We're going to get the Keith Thurmans. We're going to get the Javante Davis. We're going to get all those guys. That's what he said. And that was first of all, the zone were counting on him to deliver the fighters that they were looking for. And since he wasn't able to do that for a whole fucking year, they're interviewing. They're intervening. They are intervening.
Is there any stats that prove that the zone's subs like dramatically went higher or they got more subs since the
let me address that.
Is that
let me address that. John Skipper was asked this question too in the Gennady Golovkin signing. He was asked this question. Well,
yeah, I went a whole nother direction.
Yeah. Nah, listen, man. Hey, listen, man. All I know is this, man. Eddie Hearn offered him 15, and like the zone offered him 25. That's what's up. They got more value for him, bro. You know what I mean? That's how.
Who got more value? I didn't hear what you said. Oh yeah, the zone. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I think the difference is
they respect him more. Yeah. They respect him more.
Yeah, the zone is that's the mother company, right? So in other words, they're more concerned with having him perform on their fucking app and having them on their app, as opposed to, the other way around where, Eddie Hearn's got other motives, right? He's trying to, curate the career of his fighter.
Right. Hold on.
Well, that's an argument. That's an argument to itself because in either way, Eddie succeeds in some way, and the reason for that is. I'm gonna say it like this. Let me get my point out.
McGregor, you see what I'm trying to say, though, right? You get what I'm trying to say, right?
No.
Well, let me.
I get what you're trying to say. I just want to say that Eddie will succeed either way because he did say on Blue Blood in an interview that he's a partner with the zone.
Like Barry is.
Okay, so why would the zone if they're the same?
Even the shit.
Why would the zone offer more than Eddie?
Mate, look, I'm just saying what the man said himself. He's a partner with the zone.
They are undisputed, so they got to tell him something else. They're not giving them undisputed.
Hey, you know what? Hey, hold on. Please. Yeah, hold up. C's, I know I got cut off a little bit. You did ask about the subscribers of the zone, right? I'm not sure you saying this. But John Skipper did say that, look, it's not where we wanted to be. The numbers are not there, but I'm not going to give you the ball figure. But we got a lot of work to do. So they're not happy.
So the zone had to step in.
The zone had to step in.
Right?
Yeah. Because Eddie ain't doing this shit. Because Eddie did that bullshit was trying to lowball.
Nah, man. Because you can look at it like this. Eddie's trying to manipulate things where the zone
speculation. This is what John Skipper
said. No, that ain't why Eddie. That's not why Eddie was told not to do the negotiating. Wilder has quotes out there saying, "I'm going to do a deal with the zone, but I'm going straight through the zone, and Eddie Hearn not going to be involved." That's and the zone accepted it. The zone accepted that.
Okay, that's fine. That's his entire.
And it had nothing to do with Eddie Hearn failing them. Why they did it? We speculating and y'all throwing dirt on the man's name for absolutely nothing. And it's not protection of Eddie Hearn. It's not protection of Eddie Hearn. It's just that you're not being real. You're not being honest. And that shit ain't cool.
No, because that ain't cool. The zone got more respect for him. Eddie offered him 15. And the zone's offering him 25. It's like, yo, I'm 25. That's more than
Wilder.
That's a big
Wilder. But also Eddie's offering him a corporate shot at Joshua.
That's a $10 million difference, man.
Yeah, bro.
No, actually,
the zone took Eddie's offer.
Hold on, one at a time. Go ahead, McGregor. Go ahead. Say what you said.
The zone took Eddie's offer, and what they did with it is they added 66% on.
Thank you.
That's massive.
That's a huge.
You know what?
But they added another fight on too. That's what they did as well.
That's way more than half, though.
You know what? They're offering what he deserves, bro. Because everyone been saying Wilder should be 50, and the fight should have been on.
You need to listen to what Wilder said. Wilder said he don't want to be there that long. They made it 3 fights. They went from 3 to 4 fights. It shouldn't be about the money. He said he don't want to be on their network long.
It's a 2-fight deal.
He's not just.
It's going to be a 4-fight deal, all in all, if they come back.
fight. Nah, one fight 25, next fight 25. That's 50 mil. That's what I'm saying.
And what are they saying? The AJ deal comes after, so you're gonna be doing 4 fights on that network instead of 3.
No, man, 2 fights, bro. 2 fights, 25. And AJ.
Well, I tell you what, if they gonna pay for no undisputed, I don't care what he do. I don't care to see him fight nothing or none of it.
Let me ask a question though, please. Yeah, so no one can be saying that Wilder doesn't deserve it now because he's on 25. He's the same parity of AJ. AJ's getting 26. He's getting 25. Man can't say, oh, this guy don't deserve his money, his biggest payday. All that shit goes out the window now. Man's a 25 mil fighter. 25 mil and counting. yo, what's up, PMC?
Yo, what's up, man? Yo, like I said like a year and a half ago, is that what he had to do, Wilder had to do, was go out there and get it. Like he had to fight Luis Ortiz, he had to fight whoever Anthony Joshua wasn't willing to fight, all the toughest competition. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I used that Rocky thing where the guy was like, if you think you're worth so much, go out there and get it. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody dictate what you're worth. Go out there and get it. If you worth it. And now Wilder put himself in that position.
He earned it.
He's worth it now. He earned it. He put it out.
Yeah, I care about that man check, man. Y'all don't
but
care
look,
about
but
that.
like I said earlier,
Let me finish. But 2018, what were we talking about? The heavyweight division was hot. Wilder fought Ortiz. Wilder fought Fury. And he went out there, he got what he was asking for, man. Now everybody's coming to the table like, well, first it was like 12. It'll turn to be 15. Now they talking 25.
Yes,
that's what, $50 million contract.
They should put AJ in that fight, man. They should put AJ in that fight, man. I want to see AJ in that deal, man. That 2-fight deal, just put AJ in there in the second.
Why are they gonna do a 2-fight deal? See, you act like you don't understand. That's why I'm trying to tell you. They gave you 3 because it was gonna be rematch clauses involved, and you're gonna have them with the belts on the line.
But if there's a rematch clause, you don't necessarily
worried
have to have
this
a guaranteed
funky ass
fight.
$10 million. You worry about this
I'm
funky
not
ass
worried about the money. I'm talking about the fight.
Wait, hold on. See,
I want to see that
first of all, you want to talk about we're digging into
the Brazil fight is mandatory, so that's sort of first fight. So there's got to be another fight.
Well, it ain't gonna be
after the Brazil fight, I would like to. I want to see him fight AJ ASAP. That's my fucking point.
If you want to see that ASAP, then you would like Eddie Hearn's deal way better than Dazon's deal.
I don't give a fuck about the deal. I want to see the fight ASAP. It ain't about Eddie Hearn.
It ain't about Eddie Hearn. Don't tell us that you don't give a fuck how to get it. If you're gonna sit here and tell us what you like, and then it's a way for you to get what you like,
I want to tell you who I like to fight. I want to tell you who I would like to see.
Then you said nothing.
How did I say nothing? How did I say nothing? I'm not. Look, I want to see the fight as soon as fucking possible. I want to see the fight as soon as possible.
Wait.
Like earlier, I asked you a simple ass question. I say, okay, of the 3 fighters.
I don't give a fuck about no Eddie Hearn. He got the deal.
This nigga, he's too busy trying to defend Eddie Hearn and talk about money. You want about 2 things that have nothing to do with the fucking fight.
Listen to me say this.
Talking about the fight. I'm bringing up the fight.
Listen to me say this.
Go ahead, Lo.
Listen to this. If you think anybody's listen to this. Hear this out real quick. Fuck Eddie Hearn. I don't give a shit about none of that. I'm simply giving. You say you want to see the fight. You got 1 fight, and it will be 15 million. If they make it more, they make it more. But what needs to happen is the initial deal Eddie Hearn set in place, mandatory. Then 2 unifications with AJ or 2 fights with AJ. That need to be the wave. That's what Eddie Hearn has offered. That's what he offered.
We ain't taking that though. We ain't taking that. We're going 25 mil, 30 mil, 40 mil, and then you can get 60, 40, 60.
Exactly.
That's what we going.
We don't know that. What's the fight? No way.
I'm telling you. You know what it is? You don't have to see that Wilder's getting what he's worth. That's what you don't like. That's what it is.
Nobody cares about that. I want you to fight.
He getting what he's worth, and we all knew that's what he worth.
How you gonna tell? How you gonna say?
So you saying he mad?
Getting what the zone is willing to offer. Nobody on the zone is worth anything. They're getting overpaid by the zone because the zone invested in boxing. So nobody's. Well, Canelo might be worth it. AJ might be. Triple G might be. They proven a little bit that they can make that kind of money. Wilder's getting a handout. So what? But
that's his opinion.
Wait, hold up. So wait, hold on. Let me get this straight.
He ain't grossed over no 25-30 million, bro. He ain't did
he
that.
did against Fury. But the fact is,
no.
Wait, hold up. Are you
did
saying
25 mil?
Wait, did you just say? Wait, hold up. Did he just say that Wilder hasn't proven himself to get the money that he's getting right now? Is that what you just said?
Wilder still can't probably fill out Alabama unless they promote this shit from the next down. I'm just telling you the truth.
Wait, hold on. Go back to this. You want to talk about ticket sales now? Wait. You talk about ticket. Wait. EJ. No, man. Hey, no. Let me ask you this question.
How many buys?
Hold up. Before I answer that question, exactly, was those tickets supposed to be sold out by now at the Madison Square Garden for the Joshua Miller fight? What happened to that?
You got mad about that. They did that. You got mad about it. You couldn't.
They haven't sold out. They haven't sold out.
Man, you got pissed.
It's been 5 weeks now. It's been 5 weeks now. What happened to being sold?
They did pre-sale things, and you got pissed about them doing numbers. I don't.
Of course, it was fraudulent. It looked fraudulent to me. It looked fraudulent.
That's just speculation. But once again, if you want to,
I wasn't pissed.
Once again, okay, Dan. Let's say you're right. Let's just give you the benefit of doubt. Still, this is one time in about 7 fights that AJ has just been giving you something to brag about. Meanwhile, Wilder did $10 million worth of buys.
Here we go again.
You're happy. I just don't get biased. I don't care about it, Dan. All I care about right now is showing the best deal for the fans. It's not some second fight for nobody. And Wilder fuck around and lose that fight.
I knew this was going to happen, dude. You can't even be unbiased. Can be congratulatory.
I don't give a fuck what unbiased did. I'm low place. Don't compare me to him.
I'm trying to tell you, show some fucking compassion, bro.
That's your boy, man. Why you hating for a little bit?
I am. I'm giving you the man, bro.
Yo.
Man, I'm telling y'all what's gonna happen, and I'm gonna laugh.
You hate, dude. Why are you?
Salute the homie, the brother. Come on, man.
Wilder struggle with Brazil.
He wanted to struggle with Brazil, bro. This dude.
Man, I'm trying to get this man to the goal quick as possible. He done struggled.
No, you ain't. Now you're mad that he's getting offered by his own. You were hoping that they were going to lowball so you can snap and use it against him. That's what you were hoping for.
I didn't want to go to the zone and make his money. Be smart, but 2 fights, man, he ain't gonna hold up, bro. Who he gonna fight? Who he gonna fight that he gonna have easy pickings with? They ain't gonna be able to go to WBC and say I demand a rematch. I beat him. Who he gonna fight?
Hating's bad, bro. Hating's bad.
Shit never left. It never left. You know.
Yo.
All right, we told y'all this spirit shit wasn't a good idea, and y'all went out here. Now you gotta cover that shit up and tell everybody they hating.
Yeah, go ahead, PMC.
Well, with the pay-per-view buys, they already did $25 million with the pay-per-view.
There you go.
So anyway, that's
no, they didn't. They did 10 million in pay-per-view buys, bro.
No, they did. They did 25 million gross revenue.
That's why they paid 25. That's why they paid him 25. His money went up. That's why he ain't bad, bro.
Hey, y'all don't find that crazy that he take that shit personally? Like
they did what? 1,500. They did 150. That's what they did.
No, they did. No, they did 325,000 buys.
25. Yeah, 25 and then 25. Hey, so that's why he getting 25. Now you need to up the rate. The guy deserves.
Then you got to think about the big pictures that they trying to take away from the app. You got ESPN, they got their own app. You know, you got Showtime, you got that prescription base. So they trying to compete in the American market, man. So all they're just doing is not having let's sit out there. Drawing away attention from.
Y'all right. He did. I'm thinking another number. They did over 300. They did like 250 to 300. Y'all right.
325,000. But okay.
Yeah.
Let's switch gears.
That's what they stretched it. That was the farthest, and then 250 was low.
25. That's why he getting 25, bro. I know what I say to you. AJ's getting 26. He getting 25. Now this is that's why he went and took them challenges. So his money's up. His profile's up. Now we can talk, yo. If they don't want to, if off the big baby, after Big Baby, if they want it like on the zone, if Wilder goes to the zone,
like 325.
They talking about doing
boxing.
movie
Don't do that
They
now.
talking about doing movie
yeah, but it's like we in Brazil. You take Brazil, and the next fight, if they want it, they can have it. Yeah, on the zone. The zones, look, anything you need, the fight needs to happen. You have a rematch here. They could be on the whoever loses or wins could be on Showtime. It could be back on the zone, innit? Like Wilder's in a good place, man. I'm happy for him, man. You know what I mean? He looked bad for him a couple of weeks ago. He looked real bad.
Right, he was the butt of everybody's joke.
No way. We talking about something he ain't gonna take. No way. Y'all gonna find out.
Don't take the deal. Like, you don't
find out. Why about to be on Fox pay-per-view fight Dominic Brazil and shit? You know what happened?
Well, you know what? But you know what? Though, here's the thing.
Possible.
Wait, it's possible because here's the thing. Fox could probably match that offer because they got the money. They got the capital. They can do it.
Yeah, they can. I tell you what, hey, they're gonna have the deal, and they're gonna have Marcellus Wilder on the undercard. It's gonna be balling, bro. They're gonna be balling. Trust me, bro. They're gonna have like, Wilder's probably gonna promote some fights from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Low place versus Chocolito and some other things. I think the card will sell.
Yeah, because you got his own promotional company now.
Yeah.
And let's
say this. 15 million ain't no chump change.
25.
Dominic Brazil fight. No matter what they give him, I just know
25. What about 25?
At 15.
25.
If that's the deal breaker, if they go back to the table and they say, look, we gonna give you 15, and Wilder say deal breaker on 10 million, and he's like 10 million, he's not worried about the next 2 AJ fights coming up. I ain't supporting that, bro.
25. We're getting 25 and upwards.
I mean, y'all act like Fury didn't have to have nothing to do with this 20 million. Like, bro, he's not there right now. Dominic Brazil is there. You didn't blow that fight out. You didn't win that fight. You didn't don't just I went on pay-per-view, I made the money and I stayed there. You don't do that.
Fury's got his own ticket, ESPN, he's getting his own money. Wilder's getting his money as well. Why be
he's not getting no damn 25 no fight.
Look, they both profited. They both made a major profit.
And AJ sitting there with his hands in his lap after fight big dummy. You know what I'm saying?
I have to make $50 million every time he fought out to Floyd Mayweather. Did he make $50 million every time? No. Be consistent.
I'm trying to hear that now right now. He tried to be dummy. 26. And Wilder make
a $50 million, $20 million purse. Be consistent. Be consistent. No, yeah, because it's Wilder. Because we're supposed to be fanboys.
I heard in his second fight he won't get 35. That's why I heard in his next fight 25 and I heard 35 in the next one. How about that, low place? How about that? How about them apples? What were we saying now? Yeah, he's a 25, 35.
Hey man, I wish it was undisputed on the line with that kind of money too. I think he get more in the undisputed title fight. He take less fights to do it. He take less fights to do it. He 3 fights make more money than 4 fights.
I don't think. Listen, I don't think you're a good business guy. You try to tell me 25 on. I don't think you're a good business man. I don't know what match you on, man. 25.
What time better? You get 15 in the first one. You get 50 in the next. You get 50 in the next.
Don't bring us easier. You're getting like what the AJ's taking 26 to beat Big Dummy up, yeah, and he's gonna take 25.
Why are you mad at that? Why are you mad at that? What can Wilder say about that?
I'm not mad at it. I'm just trying to tell you the numbers. AJ's getting.
Why does AJ business have anything to do with Deontay?
No, I'm trying to say to you, Wilder's a champion as well. Wilder say because of all the stuff you said about him. Wilder's money's up 25. So you stop. You try to stop the narrative. You can stop the narrative trying to say guys only take this guy don't sell and all that shit because the zone thinks he does. The zone thinks he does. Hey, the zone don't care about that. They want Wilder 25 though. They want to give him.
Zone wants to make a fight and they want to make it. But the quickest route in the undisputed fight and to look if you got to give your services for 4 fights.
No, he's a champion.
Give your services for 4 fights, or 3 fights. He shouldn't have never came out and gave y'all that Eddie Hearn hate that y'all like.
As far as Americans, Wilder's the real champion. As far as Americans are concerned, how about that? Because then they no one's seen AJ.
You're not in America. You're not in America. You don't know that.
In America, bro. If I was in America, America, Wilder's the real champion. As far as Americans concerned, Wilder in England.
That's true.
Why did everybody I talked to call him a clown and said they lost money?
AJ's the real champion. In England, over here in the UK, AJ's the real champion. But in America,
Wilder's EJ, I'm right here. I'm right here. No barbershop. I've been to.
Let me ask the other Americans, right? The other guys, non-low place. Dan the man, yeah, is Wilder the champion in America, and he deserves the money.
Yes, he is. He deserves it.
Okay, there you go. Hold up. Don't forget, you had your point. Yo, Black Latin sees. Is Wilder the real champion? Does he deserve his money?
Yes, sir. He's viewed as the champion. He deserves every penny he can get. Every penny he can get.
Hold on. I ain't finished though. PMC. Yeah, is Wilder the real champion of the world, and does he deserve his $25 million? PMC.
You know.
Tell him. Tell him.
Let me ask Dan the man the fact, not their opinion on the situation. Let me ask Dan the man, when they gave that bullshit decision in Las Vegas, what was the sounds that you heard, Dan?
I heard boos.
There you go. And now once more.
Hey, time. Let me. What Americans saying about?
I have one more question.
Let me take it in.
What are Americans saying about Fury now? Because he ducked the deal. Ducked the rematch. Hold on. You had your piece. I'm gonna say. Why are Americans saying about Fury now? Now, because he ducked the deal. Let me put that in panel. Dan the man. What are Americans saying about Fury because he ducked the rematch? Go ahead, Dan. Tell Low Place now. Go ahead, tell Low Place what this.
Well, they think Fury is a chump now. He's a coward because you ducked. So they think he is now.
Okay, then there you go.
Whoa. So the biggest sports network in America, they think we want him. That's what they think. They paid for him, and they didn't pay for the fucking clumsy guy that couldn't knock his cokehead out, his ass out. That's what the biggest network in America is sports. You can push so angry, bro. Perception all you want, but the fact is, the people seeing the guy who should have got rewarded get rewarded. Okay, now what else? What's the next question? When Wilder was shown at the Barclays Center at a fight recently, what was the sound that we heard over here in America?
That was Kanaki's fans, bro. They wasn't booing him. Not
that was
sure.
People. Yeah.
Kanaki filled out the whole fucking arena because that's everything we heard.
The Polish fans, they come out. That's Polish fans booing him because that's a potential fight they want to see.
You know why? Because he killed Spilker. Because he killed Spilker in front of his girlfriend. That's why they hate him.
They had to carry him out there like that. They had to helicopter him to the fucking hospital. Man.
He crucified him. He crucified him.
3 fights, 4 fights. We all on the same goal. I just think 3 fights quicker than 4 fights. 3 fights quicker than 4 fights. That's something that I know.
Baby Jesus.
That's what they hate. That's why they hate him, bro. That's what they hate him.
3 fights quicker than 4 fights. That's all I can tell you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
3 fights. He had 2 guaranteed AJ fights. He had 2 guaranteed AJ fights.
We fighting tonight on the 25 mil. We good, man. You wanna come join the party, bro? We good.
Yeah, 25 million. You better hope we get through him. If I'm Dazn, I'm like, bro, I can't trust him.
I heard it's 35 mil now. I actually heard it's 35 mil. So we gonna say about that. He gonna get 35 mil per fight. We gonna say about that. You know, bro. He can get what this name. Why does deserve? That's you should be happy.
Think about it like this: I shouldn't be happy because Wilder's signing a big contract, or maybe because there's not money that I'm getting. And you shouldn't hate the fact that he signed a contract because it's not money that's taken away from you.
You got your words.
I'm saying either or. We both shouldn't be happy. We should be worried about seeing the fight. I'm actually
not happy because I don't think in the first 2 fights that the man gonna do what he need to do to get out of him.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that?
Look, they got.
Why do you think that?
Because you've seen it already. That's why I think it. The fucking Luis Ortiz fight, he didn't win his last fight. That's why I think it. I want
he didn't win his last
fight with some credibility behind it. I don't give a shit about his 25. Look, you don't get paid either way. Who you know, Dominic, the fat boy from New York, he getting the most money he ever got fighting AJ. You think that won't be the same with Deontay Wilder? They already oh my God.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit here. All right, so we just brought up Tyson Fury real quickly.
Errol Spence, right? Garcia? Huh? Got Errol Spence and Garcia?
What about Errol Spence and Garcia? What about it?
Yeah, we talking about that. That's coming up.
What about it? It's 3 days away, man.
We're gonna talk about that. But before I want to get into that, I was going to talk about real quickly though Tyson Fury versus Oscar Rivas. That's reported that fight's going to be made for June. What do you think about that one?
Never heard of him. Who's Oscar Rivas? What he done?
Yeah, he knocked out Brian Jennings recently. He knocked.
That guy. Yeah, that's a good fight.
Yeah.
That's a good fight.
Yeah, that's a decent fight. What's up, Fury?
That was the last round, right?
Yeah, it was the last round. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. That's a good.
But everybody, we all got Fury winning that. Or
nah. I put money on Rivas, bro.
That might be a good bet, huh?
EJ, I need to ask you a question, man. Yeah, I just need to ask you this. When was the last time you won a bet? Right? I need to know.
It's a long time ago, bro. I think actually was. I think the last time I actually won the belt, I think it was Caesar Kit versus Chocolate. I think that was the last one. But you know, hey, McGregor. But you see me, I always win the big ones though, the big ones. And you see that one, yeah, because Fury got punched up. Anything he might be outpointing a guy. All I'm looking for is the guy to land on Fury. This all I'm doing. I'll put £10 and this is the guy to land on Fury to see what Fury happens, bro. He'll go down like timber. I'm putting money down. I'm just saying, like, I think he go down.
Whatever odds the bookies are giving you before you place the bet, let me know. I'll take your £10 from you. I'll give you odds.
Oh, you think like you think it's easy? You think it's easy, right? You think so?
If he was 6,
well, let's say they make Rivas 9-1. Yeah, I'll give.
And how confident you are, McGregor?
I mean, Rivas has enough power. He has enough
power. McGregor's confident,
him, right?
You know what it is, yeah? Where's the fight is in America, bro? I'm just looking at Fury like, yo, this guy, you know, he can do that shit with Wilder, but this other guy's a better boxer than Wilder.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. This fight's supposed to be held in Madison Square Garden for what's being reported. If Fury's going to get booed hell out of that arena.
How much money are you getting?
I don't know, but I can tell you he's going to get.
They go boo him for ducking. They go boo him.
Yeah, they go boo that.
They go boo him, man. Fury's
showing up. Fury's
gonna be alright, man. They gonna be alright.
It's gonna be a mixture of cheers and boos. I'll be fair.
Yo, could you picture that? The new lineal champion, Oscar Rivas.
Oh man.
Hey, AJ will come after him. Wilder we getting him next just to pick up that. So the not even so cool. The linear belt, right?
I mean, right there.
You know.
If you don't guarantee yourself, AJ, it's gonna be so many other avenues in himself. And then,
well, I think Fury's gonna get. I think if we're gonna sum it up though, I think he's gonna get about 16 to 18 million for that fight, roughly. I think.
If Rivas was 6,
Wilder's getting more. Wilder's getting 25. If who's laughing now? He getting 16 and Wilder's getting 25. Yo, everyone's laughing at low place and the rest of the goose, man. Like Wilder's
laughing at me. I don't give a damn about their money. I told him to go to Dazn.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You were hold on, EJ. Let me catch him on this. Bruh, for the last 2 years, you were using money to attack Wilder. Why all of a sudden that?
I mean, shit, he's still not doing great money. Then they giving him a gift. I would like to see him take the gift to quit the fights. He is getting a gift. That's okay. It's okay.
Well, I ask you this. Well, wait, hold on. Let me ask EJ. Let me ask him a question.
Yeah.
Joshua hasn't done the numbers that Wilder's done in the States. Yeah, he's getting a big purse. Don't you think that's?
Look, the States ain't the only place that matter. Then I can't help it. It ain't the only thing that matters.
I need to answer the question.
Invest, then. They invest.
Okay.
Okay. They invest. Listen, if you don't do the numbers if you don't do numbers like Wilder, it's a big failure, bro. Big fat failure. And you know what? I expect it to be anyway, because in America, no one even knows who Big Baby is either. So I expect the numbers not to be that good. But you know what? End of the day, if the fight lives up, then if the fight is good, AJ gets knocked down and it's a slugfest. Yo, bro, that's good for boxing. But the numbers will go up. But what I'm trying to say to you is, right, if that's the case, down the man, then it'll be a big failure. And USSS will be a failure, bro. Wilder's still the man. Wilder owns America. Understand that. Wilder owns America, bro.
Money, man.
AJ to me is too passive and quiet a personality to run America. You need to put America like Big Bang, loudmouth Fury, loudmouth Wilder. That's what they like big mouth talking. If AJ's too passive, that style they made him talk and be what's it called again? And McGregor used the word media train. That don't work over in America, bro. They like off the cuff, run them out, bing, ding, bing, big mouth. They love that shit, bro. That's what sold the fight, and people love it. That's the thing. AJ ain't doing that. Big Baby's doing that, but no one knows who Big Baby is. And as far as I'm concerned, AJ kind of won the battle, but it's like been quelled. No one cares about. Like right now, bro, I'm not thinking about that fight. Right now, everyone cares. No one cares about everyone. All I'm hearing is bare shit. All I'm hearing is bare people talking shit about Errol Spence, bro. That's all I'm hearing, bro. Everyone I turn, Errol Spence, people like, yo, he's overrated. He ain't this, he ain't that. Mike is gonna school him.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about this. Let me just be real though. I like Mikey Garcia, but he's gonna lose this fight probably in 5 rounds the most. If he goes past 5 rounds, I'll be amazed.
There's no way he's seeing 12 though, right? We all agree on that. There's no way he's seeing 12 rounds.
I don't think he's going 12 rounds. No, this is gonna stop him. He may make him either retire in his corner or he's gonna stop him by stoppage, whatever it's gonna take.
Just play with him. You might just toy with him and jab him all night. You never know.
Well, anyways, are you buying that pay-per-view? Because I'm buying it. Low place. No. Why not? Why not?
I'm gonna buy that shit for the fuck. Man, no, I'm good.
Y'all free over here? It's free in ITV4. Free.
What's up?
It's gonna be ad free.
Yeah, it's gonna be ad free on ITV.
I understand why Lowe's not buying it. Lowe's not buying it because it's not Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford. That's worth buying.
I wouldn't buy that either, to be honest. I definitely wouldn't buy that. I gave Terrence Crawford my $70 a long time ago, and he still owe me today for that pay-per-view performance.
I think he's paid you back. I think he's paid you back.
Against who? What fight was it?
Post-star, where he start running and shit. Nah, I'm good on that, man. Hey, honestly, I think that's the only way he could beat Errol Spence. Even not beat him, but just to even feel like I got a shot. Y'all tell them I landed cleaner punches, even though he got beat up. That's the only way.
Who looked better versus Post-star?
He's gonna run.
Who looked better versus Post-star? Everybody. Who looked better versus Post-star? Boyd Crawford or Josh Kelly?
Josh Taylor.
I'm sorry, Josh Taylor.
I would say Terrence Crawford.
I would easily go Josh Taylor because he fought. He showed us
he got punched up in that fight. He got punched up.
He actually didn't. He actually dominated the fight. I don't know what y'all was watching, but I felt like Post-star won like 2 or 3 rounds, baby.
Nah, Post-star won way more rounds than that, bro. He won way more rounds than that.
I saw him get beat up. I saw him not be able to compete with a stronger fighter and a younger fighter. That's what I saw. Josh Taylor whooped his ass. Terrence Crawford, on the other hand, he ran from the guy. And if that's what you feel like looking good is, then be it. You watched him running. I ain't doing it.
We're turning the hater, bro. We're turning the haters right here, bro.
EJ, you go over and slices up and call this return.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you what. If Crawford Khan, that ain't a buy neither. None of that.
Hey, Dan. That's why AJ popped his head out of his hole. He said that word as well. Because in my low place, I know low place has got a kilt. He's got a Union Jack kilt over there. But see, Edge, I ain't heard nothing about Edge and Wilder don't deserve this and Wilder. Where the hell is Edge talking his grab? As soon as you saw Wilder get 25, he's like, oh, what am I gonna do? I don't know. My whole world is hurting. My head's hurting. I've got a headache and a migraine. I don't know what to do. I ain't heard nothing since that report came out. Absolutely. In fact, no, be fair. Edge was the one who reported it, I'll be fair. But since then,
Edge was happy. He was happy that he even got offered the big money when Eddie first came out and told him to do it. Edge wanted to see the undisputed title fight. He want reality.
Let me find Edge, drag his Edge's ass over it because I need to get that work.
He wants
get him over here.
He wants that fight. I can see that. He wants that fight. He wants to see the undisputed title fight. That's what everybody. That's what I don't think everybody wants. There's certain people that don't want to see it and they extending shit out, and don't nobody want that.
Jump in, Edge. Until Edge. I hope Edge jumps in. He's the other hater as well. You know what
I mean? Go 2 fights, man. Everything else going on. We're going to wait 3 years for this fight. Yeah, I'm calling it now.
About that, man. I'm happy about his money. I don't care about that because at the end of the day, the amount of disrespect they give Wilder and all the disrespect they get. I'm glad he's getting.
Not get paid with Anthony Joshua. Can you not worry about his money with Anthony? Can you put?
Wait, hold up. Why you guys? Wait, hold up. Low. Why are you guys all? Wait, hold up. Why are you saying now that why are we worried about his his pocket? But yeah, you guys just attacking for 2 years.
Either way, then
exactly. That's what I asked him earlier. I don't
because Anthony Joshua's gonna pay a career high payday either way, and it's gonna be two times. And
so what? So you upset? Why are you upset that he took he's more likely could take the 25 million versus the 15 million? Why are you upset about that?
Because none of that matters when it comes to the AJ fight. You're gonna blow that money out the fucking roof if Dazn does it right. You're gonna blow that shit out the roof. It's like telling Mayweather Pacquiao, well, not the same extent, but in a way, it's like telling them, hey man, worry about 10 or 15 to fight before, and then don't worry about the 120 million after. Man, fuck that shit, man. Well, the shit that's coming after way more important.
Nah, bro. All I know is this, yeah. It's uncomfortable talking to you because I actually feel you should be over here in the UK and I should be where you are because I don't understand it. Like, McGregor's consistent, right? McGregor's consistent. He's just gonna sit back in the couple. You, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I think you're anti-American, bro. Anti-American, bro. I can't believe it. Like the stuff you're saying, the people you're bigging up, and the people it's like, bro, this is anti-American sentiment. I don't. What you call it? Benedict Arnold? Is that what you call them? Like that's some shit, bro. That's some real shit. I ain't gonna. You're not no cool now. I would never.
We ain't calling Big Baby no Benedict Arnold for getting no 9 million fighting.
Benedict Arnold. Benedict.
They called him Benedict Arnold.
Big Baby Miller making? How much is he making?
What? 10 or 15?
Yeah, we ain't calling him no names for getting that AJ money.
I'm just happy Wilder's getting what he deserves, man. That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to see some two intermediate fights. Nah, bro. Nah, that ain't the wave right there. People want to see the undisputed title fight, and the only reason it's happening because this man he came out and he said, "Well, I can't talk to Eddie Hearn about the big money fight." Why not? He gonna give you AJ. He just guarantee you 3 fights. 2 would be AJ. Whereas Dazn themselves has guaranteed you 2 fights and none with AJ. You already said it's not about the money. You said it's about one belt, this champion, and you're gonna get paid.
That was before. That was before when they pissed him off and start disrespecting him. You know what I mean?
How much money you gonna get for 2 AJ fights? It's gonna be way more than the damn $50 million contract with 2 fights. I can tell you that damn much easily.
Let's go back to Errol Spence, man, because Errol Spence is coming up. I want to hear everyone's prediction. I'm gonna go decision Errol Spence. I think Mikey. I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at the workouts, and you don't think about Errol Spence. When was the last time he fought? It's quite a long time ago. It was last year, right? What was it? December.
Yeah, against Ocampo. Yeah, he only fought once last year,
and he's only done a round. He only did like 1 or 2 rounds.
I think he's rusty, man. It's gonna take him a while to warm up. Danny. I expect Mikey to start. Look, I'm gonna give you a parallel. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen it. Ben Taki versus Roberto Garcia or Robert Garcia. Do you remember seeing that fight where Robert Garcia, Mikey's brother, right? He was winning the fight like it was a 10-rounder, and he moved up to lightweight. I think it's after he lost against Corrales, yeah, and he was winning the fight outstandingly. He was just outboxing him. But when it came to the weight and the power, even though Ben Taki was slow, he just took him and he just beat him up. Come the last round, he knocked him out. That's more or less the drama you're going to expect here. I believe Mikey's just going to start well. He's just going to be racking rounds up. Seriously, picking rounds up until Errol start round 7, 8, 9, 10. Errol's going to come on hard. And you may be a stoppage in the last round. But if not, I'm going to go Errol by decision. I'm going to go Spence by decision, bro. So I'm going to stick to that right now. That's my official prediction. Go ahead. Someone else jump in.
I think again. I just think that Mikey's going to try to outbox him early. He's going to bite off the back for the most part in the fight because he doesn't want to give Spence a chance to throw his body shots and use his strength in the inside. So he's going to try to stay on the outside a little bit, try to give him some angles. But I think Spence is going to eventually catch him with his reach and his ability to pick shots from a certain distance. So that's the thing Spence is very good at. But the one thing Mikey could try to do to counter Spence's deficiencies is try to try to hit him upstairs a little bit, see if he can gain his respect from hurting him. But I just don't see Mikey hurting him. But we'll see. You know what I mean? He was able to drop and hurt Sergey Lipinets, who's a much stronger, bigger guy. So But we'll see if he could do that to Spence. But I really don't.
I think it's a tall task, Dan. Like,
yeah,
if it was an average size welterweight, then maybe But like Spence is one of the biggest welterweights we have. So
yeah, he is huge.
you know,
He's
like,
a
so
huge fucking heavyweight. Yeah, he's not welterweight.
Yeah, the dude got like 4 inches in height, 4 inches in reach. Come on, man.
Let's get everyone down, man. Let's get everyone down officially. Go ahead,
he's making Mikey look like a midget.
Go ahead, PMC. What's your official prediction, man? I want to hear everyone's, man.
No, you pretty much said it, man. I think he's gonna start off early. You know, Mikey. You know, first 4 rounds boxing, but Earl Spence is gonna cut off that ring and start digging into that body and start beating them down. And I think it's more likely that Mikey retires in his corner. So I don't think he's gonna get knocked. I think he's just gonna retire in his corner. I don't think it's gonna go all the way because we seen what happens with pressure fighters with Mikey Garcia and everything. He's an outside fighter, man. He can't fight inside at all. He's not a Floyd Mayweather or anything like that. He just ain't got it to fight on the inside with anybody. He ain't gonna let no big guy lean on him, anything like that. He's just hoping that Earl Spence will walk into some of these punches and stuff like that. He think he's just gonna step side to side. But what he don't realize is that Earl Spence already ran into a puncher who was able to circle him, spin him, push him up off of him, and kill Brook. And Spence was able to weather that storm and muscle kill Brook. And Kell Brook is big. He was just, if not the same size, just as big as Earl Spence. And he punched harder, and he was able to get him out of there. So I think Earl Spence just beats Mikey Garcia down. Yeah, so I got Spence.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like Spence, he has way too many advantages in this fight, and it's not even just that. Like, it's not like he's like a Margarito type fighter or just a guy who was much bigger than everyone else and he didn't have any boxing skills. But Errol Spence actually does have boxing skills. I mean, I don't think he may not necessarily be as skilled as Mikey, but I mean, I don't think there's that much of a discrepancy between the two when it comes to boxing skills. And I think because he's a decent boxer and he also has the advantage in reach, height, weight, he's going to naturally rehydrate bigger. He's stronger. He's more solid. Those are just way too many advantages for Mikey Garcia to overcome. So I just feel like this is just a terrible. I mean, I understand the matchup. I understand what they possibly see. They see that Spence comes straight ahead and he's going to dip down low to throw his body punches. He loves to throw body punches, and he throws a lot of punches. So if you're a counter puncher, if you're a counter puncher like Mikey, you want someone who's active, who's going to come towards you and let their hands go. So, open themselves up to get hit. So even with all that said, like I said, I understand what Mikey sees. I understand what Big G sees. I pretty much get what they're saying. That Spence isn't like a light-footed boxer who boxes and moves all around the ring. He's a come straight ahead guy. But even with that said, I feel like because he's still a decent boxer, he knows how to use his jab. He knows how to use his jab not only to keep you at the end of it, but also to get in closer. He knows how to use his jab to kind of weigh out the distance and try to figure out the distance. So like I said, he's good in that aspect, and he's a very active fighter. All right, he throws a lot of punches. So you're aggressive, you're taller, you're bigger, you have all the dimensions advantages, and you're a decent boxer yourself. That's just way too much for Mikey to overcome. That's why I feel like, that Errol will win. And also I feel like he's superior athletically as well. So that's just another advantage that he has. So I don't see Mikey winning this fight. But he does have a puncher's chance, even though I don't know his power at 147. Who knows? Maybe his power carries up to yet another division, but that's still a dice roll, right? That's still a dice roll. It would make more sense to just get.
Right, basically, it's a tall task for Monkey. We're all in agreement on that one right there. So, we hope for the best.
If I can hit you with the jab, they say if I can hit you with the jab, I can hit you with anything. So to predict Spence jab way longer, ain't no need to predict. If I can hit you with the jab, I can hit you with everything. Spence jab stronger, Spence jab better. So basically, he could sit on the outside and jab his belly all night, fuck him up and win 12 rounds. He could easily do that, or could jab him, walk him down. I mean, ain't no way to predict it. He got too many ways to win, and he'll decide how to win when he get in there. It ain't gonna be nothing telling in his fights. All I know, I believe people gonna have to make a big deal about nothing to have something to talk about at the end of this fight, and I can see that happening already.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Let me go back to this Wilder thing because I'm seeing some comments here that not in my chat, but comments on this. Like, well, wait a minute, hold up. If he's getting overpaid, would it be fair to say he's getting overpaid by Hearn to take that offer that Hearn was offering him? I don't get it, man. Either people are going to be happy the dude's getting a deal, or is he not?
Right.
I mean, seriously, man.
Like, there's a thin line between being a boxing fan and being some other type shit. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know, man. It's just like how do we get to this point now, man?
Damn, because you've been looking at it so biased for so long. When somebody told you long ago that AJ was the bigger star, you would say, "Huh? Hold on!" Like it wasn't nothing to say. Hold on.
I said he was. Wait, bro.
When they were talking about splits based off money and sales, Wilder's clearly a B-side. But now when they coming in and they just throwing the money around, anybody can get the money. They're cool with that. But we won't. But the goal and the focus should be get the fight as soon as possible, guaranteed.
Bruh.
And that fight will be Eddie's offer, which Eddie might be able to up. Eddie might be able to say, well, hold on, Dazn. We don't want to do 2 fights. We want to do Brazil. We want to do AJ. We want to guarantee this shit out. Maybe he can't. Maybe he
don't
can't.
want the fight, man.
Wait. Hold on. Let me comment on that. First of all, wait. PSC. PSC, hold on. Let me comment on that. First of all, I always said that Wilder is a B-side to AJ. I've always said that. Look at my videos. I've also criticized Wilder for not taking the initial offers that was offered to him. Okay. All right. I did do that. All right. But at the end of the day, I could see why he was turning them down because he was trying to pretty much see what his value is going to be after he takes a certain amount of fights, which was pretty much a strategy all along. Okay. We all say Wilder is stupid. We not saying he's not a smart guy, but I could see why he was holding out as long as he could. Because he was going to go through these 2 fights with Ortiz and Fury, and then he was going to determine to see what his value is going to be after that. All right. But at the same time, I have criticized him for taking deals that he shouldn't have turned down. All right. So you can't call and tell me that I've been biased, bro. I've been consistent about it.
You've been finding your way. You've been finding your way. I'm skating this side. I'm skating this side.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, just like you giving Joshua the benefit of the doubt.
But you also have to look at the performances in these fights and saying the consistency of how many times did you sell a pay-per-view? And he said, you asked him, he said, well, once. And somebody said, well, that ain't no guarantee. You didn't knock this guy out. Ain't no guarantee people want to see you again. You walk around getting booed, but it don't matter. The zone's putting the money up. But the first thing should be first. Y'all worried about y'all words. Worry about what Wilder said. He said it's not about the money.
Yeah.
It is about me fighting for titles. Okay. Well, 50 shouldn't mean shit to you because you can make $50 million one night fighting for the titles, and then you could do it again another night, and that three. And that
you know he's gonna get $50 million to fight for the title. But anyways,
how is he not gonna get $50 million in AJ fight? How?
Well, it hasn't been offered to him. But anyways, Double A brought up an interesting point here. He says, "Look, why would the zone not offer AJ in the contract that they're offering Wilder? It seems like AJ don't want that fight to me. So he think AJ is somehow is someone involved in that situation. I don't know about that Double A, but."
AJ didn't have no say in it when Eddie Hearn said we was giving him 3. That's the point. Now you're giving DAZN away, and DAZN probably gonna do what they want to do. They want you on their network. They want to help build. Think about it. You don't even have to. AJ shouldn't come in this. If you got another world title, another world champion on there, then you have no one on any other network. You want to watch heavyweight boxing, you go to DAZN. That's why.
Well, you know what? To be fair,
I bet you this much. I bet you AJ and Wilder won't be fighting in the same month if they get that 2-month deal, because they're gonna want your ass to pay that $9.99 and that $9.99 in 4 different months. Bet your ass that much.
Yeah, but to be fair though, to Double A, actually it was a zone and John Skipper who's negotiated the deal. AJ and Hearn pretty much are not involved, so that's the reason why it's not the contract. But to be fair though, you're speculating that AJ could probably told the zones like, no, don't put my name in that contract. That's what you're speculating. But we don't know.
Eddie Hearn already said we could do that. He said, come talk to me. Wilder put the roadblock up right here. This final roadblock was Deontay Wilder. This man went on interview after interview on YouTube. Man, I don't even want to sit with Eddie Hearn, man. Getting emotional and shit.
Well, to be fair,
emotional and shit. Eddie Hearn, like, bro, Eddie Hearn, like, look,
Eddie Hearn
yes,
been
business
dragging him
broke
for
down,
years,
but you
bro.
still got to
Hold
keep
up,
working
hold
towards
up. Well, to be fair though, that doesn't mean that Wilder is blocking out Eddie Hearn in its entirety. All he's saying is, like, look, I'll deal with you, but I'll deal with you indirectly. Let me talk.
No, he said, I'm going to go. He said, I'm going to go to the zone. He said, I'm going to talk to the zone, but if I go, it won't be through Eddie Hearn and no Eddie Hearn deal.
That's what I'm saying.
He said, no Eddie Hearn deal, bro. He said,
indirect deal. It's an indirect deal. I'll do a deal with you, but don't have him at the table because I can't say.
Well, look, the indirect deal gets you the indirect deal don't get you a direct shot to Anthony Joshua and the 3 belts in the fight you said you want. Sometimes you got to quit this emotional LDBC attitude. This
wait, don't call me LDBC, bro.
Bullshit.
Right, anyone who's critical of AJ,
don't bring that on my
LDBC,
channel, bro.
Right? Anybody that's critical of AJ is LDBC.
I'm a man, bro. Nah, nigga, don't call me LDBC. Look,
first I'm not talking. I'm saying with Deontay, what? Be a man. All this emotional bullshit. Stop all this. Oh, get out of my comment section. Get him, go. Like, stop that bullshit.
Nah, Deontay. First of all, Deontay Wilder's not like that. Number one, he talks to everybody. That's the thing about Deontay Wilder I can appreciate. He show up on social media channels and he'll talk to people. He'll give people interviews. He's to talk to people.
I'm talking about negotiating, because you said, okay, I only want to ever go back to is this 50 million that everybody on the fence about, that Eddie and Steven are. That's all he ever want to go back to say, I got every reason to hate him. I call him a slave owner, so I hate him. This man, sit your ass down, work out this deal for the fans and shut the fuck up. Just do that.
I agree, but
shut the fuck up and work the deal out.
If Deontay feels that Eddie Hearn has been disrespected, he has disrespected him, believe it or not. He did disrespect him initially.
Nigga called him a slave master, bro. He called him a slave master.
He called him a slave master after Hearn disrespected him. He called
his man. He said he got Anthony on the plantation from damn near 2 years ago. And this nigga wasn't doing nothing but they wouldn't let him in the ring. When they didn't let Deontay Wilder in the ring without a sign fight, Deontay Wilder went on this streak of talking shit. That's what happened.
I hear you, but to be fair, again, Hearn insulted Wilder before Wilder made that comment. I don't condone that comment. Let's not get it twisted. But the same
Eddie Hearn and Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua did was say, look, when Klitschko got in the ring, we had a fight signed. If you don't have a fight signed, this is my show, and you're not getting in the ring.
Let me ask you this. Here's the thing.
From there on, Deontay Wilder was pissed.
Well, here's the thing. We can only look from the outside in, but there's probably other terms that Wilder wanted in the contract that Joshua didn't like, which Joshua kind of admitted to. That's why this fight didn't happen. He's admitted that I'm part of the reason why this fight didn't happen. Okay, now it goes back to my point. Wait, no. He did say that.
Yeah, it was being too nice. I offered you all the money in the fucking world and to fight in front of 100,000 people. And shit, I ain't got too much off after that. I did everything I need to do.
Well, Joshua did admit that part of the reason why that happened.
But once again,
was my fault.
You know his personality. Joshua got the 50-50 personality. Well,
yeah, he does.
But the truth is, he gave Deontay Wilder everything a fighter could wish to have. That ain't selling out no fucking video.
What about the drug testing? Because you know what about the drug testing? I hate to allude to this point. What about the drug testing? Because this is the reason why
we're talking about year round. We're talking about year round Is what we're talking about, right?
Yeah,
year round.
Maybe Joshua didn't want that. That's
probably why they're talking about that. Nobody's mentioned that. That's speculation. Okay. What was mentioned was Wilder 12.5. What the 12 and the 15 offers? That I think it was 15.
Flat fee, no percentage of the gate revenue.
Yeah, he said he was accepting of everything except for a rematch clause from what we got.
Exactly.
And then he accepted that he wouldn't have a rematch. Then he wanted one. And then they sent that, and they got nothing else back. Is what Hearn
said.
To say. Now, okay, if you don't got a deal, you don't get in the ring. And all we heard from Wilder was blah blah blah. They scared of me, and this and that. He won't fight them easy. And from there, ain't nobody disrespecting him. He disrespected them just as well.
No, Hearn did disrespect him. You didn't see what he did on IFL interview. You didn't see what he called it. He's a guy from Alabama who can't even amount to nothing. How could he get $50 million to pay my guy? A guy from Alabama? What the hell?
That's way after all the disrespect been thrown. That's way after Deontay Wilder's upset.
Yeah, you know what Hearn did before that slave master comment? You know what he did?
He had to up security so I wouldn't come in the ring trying to criticize a man like he ain't a man or something. What you think gonna come back? They told you to sign a fight and you get your ass in the ring and we promote the fight. Other than that, you ain't use our name.
Yeah, do you find it disrespectful that you go on the streets of New York and you try to talk to everybody? You try to talk to
when it's war.
No. Let me say,
war is war.
That is disrespectful. That is disrespectful.
When it's war is war, ain't it? When it's war is war.
But yeah, it was her who started to disrespect.
When the first thing you did was go to the Breakfast Club, they ain't gonna let me in. This, and that. I think that's the interview he did. If I'm incorrect, I'm incorrect. But all this started.
You're incorrect.
All this started. No. Actually, I don't think it is. He was sitting on the Breakfast Club with a green shirt on, from what I recall, talking about how they were so scared of him and wouldn't let him in the arena. And that's when when the jabs start flying. Like, yo.
No jabs started flying before the Parker fight, bro. Hearn was in the streets promoting the Matt True fight on HBO with Danny Jacobs, right? He was there out the streets giving an IFL interview, picking random people out of the streets asking, do you know who Deontay Wilder is? See, why the hell does he deserve this, that, and the third? He don't deserve crap from us. That's what Hearn said. He's a fucking nobody. He's a guy from Alabama. That's what Hearn said to him initially. That's where all that shit started.
Yeah, I heard a chump for that shit, man. Because I know what he's really trying to say when he's talking like that. I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, that's what he did. That's what that shit all started.
I'll tell you what the truth is. Honestly, the motherfucker heavyweight champion, and nobody in America, he needed an Englishman to sell. An Englishman. That's the truth.
So what? I mean, you did that's part of it.
Look where we at now, though. It obviously works for him.
Deontay Wilder come out and said that he can't make nobody buy a Brazil pay-per-view. He came out and said itself that nobody's gonna buy Dominic Brazil pay-per-view.
We all know that. So,
so Eddie Hearn and y'all would be lying to say what he deserves versus you have to be honest.
Well, it's kind of like Triple G can't sell without that dance partner. He cannot sell without Canelo Alvarez. So it's the same, almost essentially the same thing, right?
Well, you said, Canelo got a track record at least doing some kind of numbers, and he's not a heavyweight.
Doesn't matter. I'm just saying, Triple G. Remember, Triple G was all when people were talking about he's this biggest star in the United States and all that stuff.
Man, Triple G's done more than well for himself as a middleweight that barely speak a few words of English that came over here from God knows where. All we knew about Kazakhstan was fucking Borat, and Triple G bitch and did 200,000 paper for 50.
No, he did not. No, he did not. He only did. He did 150. Wait, hold up. He did 150.
He's did 3 different pay-per-views with 2 guys that were not pay-per-view. He made millions on Showtime, have 1.4, 1 point this and that watching them.
First of all, if you want to talk about pay-per-views, hold up. You talking about pay-per-views. Triple G headline, yes, you can say he headlined the Canelo pay-per-view. Before that, before that, he headlined 2 pay-per-views against guys who are unknown, and look how that did.
100
hold up. Wilder did only 1 pay-per-view. Wilder did only 1 pay-per-view. His only pay-per-view so far. He did 1 already. That superseded what Triple G has done in his first 2 pay-per-views.
They're heavyweights, Dan. Okay. That's not a good comparison.
It is a good comparison.
We're talking about a black.
No, it's a good comparison. No, it's a good comparison because people been running around saying that Triple G was the biggest thing. That's what people were saying.
So blind and biased. This man Triple G is a goofy looking ass white man from fucking Kazakhstan.
He's Eurasian. He's a Eurasian. Yeah, baby. Fact is, Triple G. To be fair though, Triple G is To be fair, Triple G is promoted properly. He is promoted properly by.
I'm gonna tell you what properly
is. I will give him that. Hold up, bro. Listen, he is promoted by Tom Lofton 360 Promotion. They have done a pretty good job promoting him. Okay, they had him do Media Blitz. He was doing these figures on cable TV, which is a good thing. But the problem is that people were using that and say, you know what? This guy is probably more popular than the American heavyweight champion. Maybe he was, maybe it wasn't. But the fact of the matter is this, okay? He did not do when he headlined his first two pay-per-views. He did not do well compared to what Wilder did in his first pay-per-view.
And he didn't have a Tyson Fury either. He had a Danny fucking Jacobs that don't nobody even care about him fighting Canelo
Wait, who's more known? Danny Jacobs? Who's known in the United States? Danny Jacobs or Tyson Fury? Before the Tyson Fury came over. Oh no, he wasn't. He was
not before the Wilder fight.
Not before the Wilder fight. No, he was not. You're lying, bro.
Deontay Wilder and did the did the you big bum, did that shit.
And that was what, 3 years ago?
It's a bigger splash than fucking Danny Jacobs has ever. Danny Jacobs fought Cuba Luis Arias in front of like 1,000 people.
And wait, at least hold up. At least Danny Jacobs was filling up more seats than Tyson Fury did when he fought Cunningham. I'm just saying.
No. Truth of the matter is he's one of the worst guys that's known here in the States. He polarizes nothing. He can beat Canelo and people probably won't give a fuck.
You don't like Danny Jacobs, but the fact of the matter is
it's nothing about like. It's the truth. He could beat Canelo and people probably won't give a fuck. There you have it.
Right.
How's he gonna polarize it? What's he gonna do? Just in-ring performance? We've already seen Canelo beat. The guy who beat Canelo has something else about himself too. All right. You gotta have
here's the thing, bro. The bottom line is this: why don't you give Wilder credit for anything, man?
I ain't taking no. What do you want credit for? What big wins?
Why don't you
wins you want credit for?
You know why? Because he knows that. You know why he knows.
Do I look like Chase to you? I look like MasterCard in this motherfucker. Visa. What I look like?
He know why he would knock AJ out. That's why.
I'm a boxing fan. He ain't did shit in boxing.
No, I'm gonna just be honest. Even if Wilder fought to beat AJ, if that happened, he won't give Wilder credit for that.
All right, we assess.
You won't do it. He won't do it. He'll find some way to discredit him.
No politics. no politics. He do everything everybody else supposed to do. He get all the credit in the world he need to get. He'll be the unified, undisputed heavyweight champion. Even if I don't get him credit for doing, let's say he punches him with an elbow and knocks him out. Let's say him do one of them things. Because that's what he does sometimes. See, I want everybody to be fair, and I want to let you know how fair I am. Ugás hit Sean Porter with a forearm. I said, oh, that ain't a knockdown. Hit him with a forearm. Nobody says nothing. But if I say, yo, Wilder knocked this man down with a forearm, oh, here you go again, Lo. But when it's Ugás, nobody say nothing. Nobody say nothing. They want Wilder to be able to club with his damn forearm, throw an elbow. Like, bro, come on, man. Come on. If he beat AJ cleanly and AJ beat him cleanly, well, we have a clean, undisputed champion, and boxing need clean winners. That's what we need. We need memorable fights.
That's cool. That's cool though. That's cool though. But let me ask you this: I'm sure you probably won't get. Will you give him credit if he beat AJ if that happens?
A clean victory, yes.
Fuck no. Fuck. At least say clean victory. Clean victory. What the fuck is that? What the fuck does that even mean? A clean victory.
I'm going to be rooting for him. I'm going to be when he fights AJ. I'm going to be rooting for him.
No, you won't. Stop.
Yeah. So in other words, look, if he holds AJ too much, that's not a clean victory, right?
Deontay Wilder ain't a holder. I've never accused him. He doesn't do that. Deontay Wilder, what he tends to do is, the worst he does, slap around the neck and shit like that with that damn club and arm. But other than that, he's not a dirty fighter. I never said, well, that's dirty.
No,
but other than that,
he's not a dirty fighter, but he's not known to be dirty. But okay, all right. Well, I'll take your word for it. But we'll see if it gets down that line, maybe another year or two.
If AJ beat him, I ain't gonna give AJ very much credit. I feel like I've seen him beat already, but I just want to see 4 belts fought for.
You said you feel like you've seen him beat already?
Yeah, I think twice. I've looked at the fight and said, this 2 times in a row. Stop, bro. Yeah. You gotta stop. Luis Ortiz was putting them hammers on his ass. I said, this 40-year-old there kicking his ass, man. Stop it.
No. Anyways, look, Ross Clyde's in the chat. Wait, EJ. So shout out to Ross Clyde. But I gotta say something. First of all, Ross Clyde, this is a fact. Jacobs was known in the States when he fought Golovkin before Fury fought Wilder. That is a fact.
Exactly.
So don't twist it. Don't twist it, bro. That is a fact.
Dan, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, call me Dan.
Look. This man, Danny Jacobs, fought in his hometown with Peter Quillen, and they saw the Battle of New York. It was 7,000 people in the damn arena, bro.
Okay.
He's not known. Not
and
even.
You think if Fury fought some random dude, you think?
I've seen people. I've seen funerals with 7,000 people. Now, so when you fighting in, look, it's just true. When Triple G was doing 20,000 Madison Square Garden, Triple G was huge, bro. For coming from Kazakhstan.
Triple G he's an Asian that white people adopted.
I mean, they wanted
Wait. Let me ask you this: how many people showed up for the Cunningham and the Fury fight?
If the who?
Cunningham and Fury. When Fury fought Cunningham in 2013,
he became the guy who beat Vladimir Klitschko, though. Then that's not fair. We talking about where when they fought the people, like where they were. Tyson Fury was the guy who beat Klitschko, cokehead story, loved by the UK, and translating into the US. The guy who did the big ring, the ring bust the Deontay Wilder when Deontay was looking like a scrub versus and he called him a scrub.
Well, let me EJ get it. Hold on, real quick.
Yeah,
EJ,
I was gonna say, like, innit, like, you know, you got one of the biggest fight coming up, and AJ and the rest of the fights already set, but like the Wilder, the Spence fight and the Garcia fight, I think, you know, arguably that could be the fight of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it could be.
I really think that Mikey was to topple Errol Spence, yeah. Like, arguably, I'd have him like probably like on that win alone, the strength of that win. And what Errol Spence has done, arguably, I'll have him like number 1 pound for pound now. I don't think you can deny him.
I agree.
Number one. You put him in number 1 too.
Yeah. Resume's tight.
He's speaking of pound for pound. Yeah.
You know why? Like, you know why? It's the weight, going up the weights and beating the guys at the weights, man. And even when he rolled up for Lomachenko, Lomo didn't want it, bro. I mean, you saw that he didn't want it. Rolled up in the ESPN. Yeah. He didn't want it. You can't even take that away. And he's supposed to be pound for pound. He beats Errol Spence. To me, he comes number 1.
Yeah. You know, speaking of pound for pound, ESPN, which people look at as one of the pound for pound rankings, Deontay Wilder is top, is number 10 pound for pound. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I don't know if you guys agree with that, or I mean, typically with heavyweights.
Like I don't put heavyweights or cruiserweights on mine, but I can see what's going on. Cause look, you can look at it like this: Wilder in his last 2 fights, he's beaten 2 of the top 5, or 2 of the top, about 2 of the top 5 or top 4 heavyweights.
They need to cut that shit out.
But it wasn't made for big guys, so I wouldn't put, like, I don't put heavyweights or cruiserweights. I don't put no 200.
I mean, you can make an exception. You can make an exception if that heavyweight's a long reigning champion as lineal status number 1, like Klitschko, for example, or if you're like Tyson, who was an undisputed champion and a lineal champion. In fact, at one point in time, Mike Tyson was number 1 pound fighter at one time. So because of his dominance and he cleaned out the division, so that's when you can make an exception to put an heavyweight in there. So.
Yeah. Right. So in other words, if Usyk goes up to heavyweight and he dominates and start getting belts, then you can.
That'll be another argument. Well, that'll change it again. That'll change it.
Right. You got it. Yeah. I look at, but
I'm consistently like gonna get you because each of them will company, but we can only go by this weekend and like what the guys got later on. You know what I'm saying?
So you'll put Mikey number 1. I feel you. I get what you're saying.
For now, I would. I'd put him. I literally put him number 1 because I don't think people give him a chance. And that's the idea. If you look at his resume, what he's been doing, the body of work, going up the weights, it's hard for me to see how he beats him because he struggled with Salito. Salito broke his nose, and like what I was looking at with Mikey through adversity, and like with Mikey, he's had
like pressure, right?
Yeah, he's done crisis. He's done a lot of things his own way. Right, but with Errol Spence, what if things don't go your way? How was Mikey going? And then I saw that he was looking for the score. When he got floored, he was looking at his court like, "Yo, this ain't supposed to be happening." And like next thing you know, he said, "Yo, they went to the scorecards." And I remember that. And as a fighter, I look at it like, "Yo, usually you're supposed to fight through that adversity." And you know what I mean? But they went straight to the scorecards and they got the hell out of Dodge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you're saying that he might fold under pressure.
Yeah. And I'm like, Lobo was getting that beating. Right, and even though Lobo was getting beat, Lobo to his credit stuck in there, got all that work, got the whole work with Salito, and he never complained. You know what I'm saying? Right. But when it came to Mikey, when he got set, look at it, watch it. When he got set, he looked at his score like, yo,
he was all up on the ropes too.
I thought you got me a bum here. I thought I was ready to shine. And then after that, then he that's the time when he took a hiatus and said, "Oh, I want to be a barbarian." You see what I'm saying? Because they realized he set me up against some of these dudes here, bro.
Yeah, we got right up out of that top rating contract.
Right after that, that's true.
You're talking about that Salito after that Salito?
Yeah,
that's Salito fight.
After that, because he was cool after that, but after that, he said, "Yo,
one more fight after that. He left camp, man. They thought they was putting him in too tough."
Yeah.
So hold up. So we ridicule promoters for not making a big fight. But
No, not really. No, not really. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying what happened.
Was ready, man.
No, Caesar. They're not
After a certain time, you got to step up. If you got that type of hype behind you,
he stepped up. Yeah. No, he stepped. No, I wasn't talking about. No,
but he didn't like it.
I'm not blaming the promoter. I'm blaming like how I'm talking about the adversity, how he deals.
Yeah, you trying to say he folds under pressure? I get.
No, I know. I'm not saying he folded. I'm just saying what I saw, and I don't forget stuff like that. I look at people when they're done, what their body language, and as a fighter, you look at these sort of things. The first thing he went to the corner. Fine, you look at your corner, but the corner said, "Yo, we're getting your head out of dodge. Let's go to the scorecards. Let's get you out." His nose was broke, right? They're up on the scorecards. Like, why risk it? Yo, let's go to the scorecards. And I was like, "Yo, what do you mean?" It's like they told the ref we're going to the scorecards, or he can't continue. Right. You know what I mean? Bro, you blatantly could continue your broken ass nose. I see many fighters continue. Brera got his nose broken, but I can't remember his name. It was this guy. It was a guy from Olympia. Rocky Suarez. Is it Rocky Suarez?
Rocky Suarez.
Yeah, Brera's got his nose in the first fight. He got his nose broke up in the first fight by Suarez. He didn't complain. And I see another fighters fight. I mean, he took his shit and then he got him back in the match. Mike got the head out of dodge.
So look, I have a question for you, EJ. I have a question for everybody here, including in the chat if we're still live. What I want to know is this. Okay, I know a lot of people are saying Garcia wins, but okay, let's say the other thing happens. What if it's the other side of the coin? And what if Errol Spence wins? If Errol Spence wins,
top 3.
What would you like to see? How much credit would you give him? And what would you like to? You would give him what?
Top 3 pound for pound. I got Lomachenko. I got Crawford. Crawford, Lomo, and Errol Spence. Top 3 pound for pound.
Right. So how much credit will you give him for beating Mikey Garcia?
Yeah, I'll give him a hell of a credit, bro. Fucking Mikey's been carving up dudes, bro. Mikey's been carving up the weight classes, and people legitimately have Mikey winning the fight. They have. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I've been around the forums, and they're giving Mikey a hell of a shot, bro. They were saying
when you say hell of a shot, you mean more than a puncher's chance.
Yeah, bro. They got him schooling him. Most of I'm hearing they're gonna school him and they're gonna take him to school. And the thing is, right? Yeah. This is the thing. I wasn't. Listen, I'm telling you, I was not a big Errol Spence fan. Ask anyone, bro. I was rolling on him.
I'm not either.
I was banging on him, yeah, because I was like, oh, this is one of them. I was banging on him like because I heard about Myanmar and all this other. What's his name again? What's his name again? Lubin. I was like, yo, bro, all them hype Americans. I was going on him until I see him bust up Bundu, bro. When I see him bust up Bundu, I said, yo, bro. I know Bundu's tough, right? And Furman went the distance, right? Even though he got dropped, Furman went the distance. Like, yo, that guy's not easy to beat, bro. And he wiped him. Then I said, yo, he gonna kill. I knew at that point. I said, this guy's the truth. And I said to him, he gonna kill Kell Brook, bro. He gonna kill Kell Brook. I'm telling you. And that's what happened with Mikey.
So do you think did he kill Kell Brook?
Yeah, bro. He busted up his eye. He messed up his other eye. Didn't he take his other eye out?
He did. But to be fair though, Golovkin softened him up though. Golovkin softened him up though. But let's be fair.
So that was hold on. So that was a kill. EJ, you saying that was a kill? That was a kill.
Dan, it was the other eye. Yeah. He took out the fresh eye.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And listen to this, right? Then you have to factor in the sparring thing when Mayweather came back from jail, whatever. He got in there and busted up Game Mayweather and he busted up on Bruno. Like them sort of things, yeah, against their level. That's what you heard beforehand. So now I was like, yo, whatever. But I'm trying to say to you, at this point, Mikey's got him right because inactivity is good. But for Errol Spence, who likes to fight once a year, that's fine for him. That's fine. He's a slow starter. Let Mikey will take the early rounds. Nice and start getting confident. This is when Errol starts going downstairs and starts, because what it is like, when you touch downstairs, it don't happen in the first round. It don't happen even in the third or fourth or fifth. When it starts happening, it's around the 7th, bro. If you're around, yeah, the body working investment where he puts in you, you'll start feeling around the 7th. You're like, yo, all of a sudden I'm tired. Why am I tired? So when he did you
body work, that's why you tired.
Yeah, bro, and that's what he does, bro. And it drains you. And when I mean it drains, you're literally sacked. And then here comes Errol Spence like a tank, bro, rolling up on you, just bomb. And that's what Mike is gonna be strong because Mike. And I look at how he dealt with Salido, right, in his weight class. Salido was like, yo, Salido was strong. Well, Errol Spence even stronger than Salido, bro. So this is what Mikey got. Mikey's buffed up. If you look at Mikey's face, right, and his cheeks, man's puffed up. Mikey will say, "Yo, I tried my best. I gave it a shot. I'm gonna go back down the weight classes." That's what I think Mikey said.
Oh, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of an update. I think the ratings came in for Porter versus Ugás on Fox. It did 2.1 million ratings. million views.
That's pretty good.
So is that good? That's good.
That's very good. Yeah, that's very good.
Average.
There we go. What are you saying?
Every other channel.
Watch you bring up Thurman. Watch you bring up Thurman versus Porter. Go ahead.
Average. Why you say that's average, bro? Why you say that's
They probably got their ass kicked by ABC, NBC, all them other networks.
You're on form.
No, look at it. You gotta look at all the other races.
Anything American.
That's not the good numbers for them. They need to be around. Even when they do 3, they be losing to these people, man.
Yeah.
They be losing.
Nah, but like 2, you gotta say 2 decent. Come on, Lo. You gotta say 2 is decent.
I mean, for that fight, it's not for that fight.
So that's all Porter, basically Porter, and I mean, because Porter had to carry that. Right?
I'm saying that's
so Porter was able to carry
for those fights. You would expect that for those fights, but in comparison to the networks,
I think for Porter to carry this fight himself, fighting an unknown Cuban, like that's
great.
CBS, NBC, ABC. What's the other one? I think that's the Prime 4.
Fox.
Yeah, that's what.
But you see what I'm saying, though, right? Like he's not a popular fighter. He's not fighting a popular fighter. So to be able to see 2 million is good.
But I understand that. But I'm telling you, in the boardroom, they looking and saying, "Damn, 4 million."
Well, like I said, I think, it kind of pertains to the fact that the ratings on Fox are a lot better than it is on Showtime for PBC. Maybe since this has been leaked about the Wilder getting that zone deal, they're going to try to match that and see, you know what, we need to get Wilder over to Fox, because as I stated, Wilder does have a good relationship with the executives over at Fox. So they actually admire him a lot. So they respect him a lot. So we'll see what they can do if they can counter that. So we'll see if that's yet to be seen on that situation.
Yeah, so you think maybe he's leaning more towards Fox as opposed to the zone deal that's been offered?
It's a possibility, but I'm gonna be real. Showtime, that's out the window. I don't see him going to Showtime. Showtime's done. I'm gonna be real, because I think, to be honest, if they lose Wilder, that's devastating for them, because they can't survive with Pacquiao on being their flagship. They can't do it. They need Wilder. They need him badly. We'll see what they can do, because the only way they're gonna offer Wilder the money that the zone's offering is they got to put all his fights on pay-per-view. They got to do it to offer it to him, but we'll see how it goes, but I just don't see him doing it, but we'll see how it goes, to be honest with you. So, that's yet to be seen. But anyways, back to the matter on hand, 2.1 is good viewing for Porter versus Ugás. But
yeah, you got to say that's a success, right? 2 million is a success.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Come on, Lo. It's 2 million views, bro.
Here, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Say, look,
I know it's just regular TV. All you need is
NBA leads a quiet night. PBC stays consistent. So I'm gonna give you the exact numbers.
Yeah.
The NBC put on Dateline, which don't probably cost them not much to view, not much to make. 4 million.
Yeah.
All right. Same time. PBC. This is the average. These are the viewers. I don't know if this was average or look, it's consistent for all of them. PBC did 1.34. So yeah.
But it's funny though. Speaking of the zone, we're talking about these deals. Gennady Golovkin, the deal they gave him, it's like a cakewalk deal, because it doesn't even include those main event fights that we're looking forward to see, like the Andrades, the Charlos. It doesn't include that. And some people are kind of a little upset about this. Like, dude, they gave him like an easy deal.
How old is he?
37 years old.
You don't want to fuck them. He ain't worried about them. He worried about himself. 38, 37. That's when he come in that time and he fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, let's be fair though. Yeah, but the thing is that the dude's like really, really slow down after those Canelo fights, because the dude's been taking beatings before that. So, I mean, I can understand why he would get this type of deal where he want to go. But at the point of his career, I mean, as Abel Sanchez says, it's not even about titles anymore. It's about trying to get as much money as we can now.
Yeah, I don't even want to see that bum Andre get a victory over 38-year-old and try to act.
Andrade was Triple G, man. Boxing.
Yeah.
Boxing. I think
Charlo will go through too. So that's another thing.
I want to see Triple G get put down, like, and admit he Asian. That's what I want. I want him to get hit so hard he admit that he's Asian, he's not white. Like, that's what I want. That's what I want to get from Triple G. Yeah, I want to see him get dropped, because I don't think anyone's ever dropped him before, right?
Yeah. No, he hasn't been dropped, but he has been wobbling against low tier oppositions and fights.
Andre knock him out. That's what you don't understand. Andre is really out here losing it, bro. He really out here losing it.
But you know what? He may be, you know what? Andre may be like a fool, a clown outside the ring, but inside that ring, that dude's like a master tactician in that ring. Jesus.
He's losing it. What he was, he had
talented fighter. I don't think he lost his talent. His talent is not gone. He didn't lose his
He's trying to sell himself though. He's trying to sell himself. They tell him like, yo, you need to sell yourself and you maybe get more money. So he's coming out of his comfort zone. But really, talking ain't for everyone, bro. Like Errol Spence ain't a good talker. AJ ain't a good talker. And Boo Boo he definitely ain't a good talker. Maybe it's best to quiet. You know what I mean? When he was wearing that stuff,
Earl Spence a good serious talker. When it's serious, and when him and Mikey not a good talker, but when they looked at each other in the face and got serious, that shit was.
Man, he's passive. He seems passive to me, man. He seems passive to me. Errol Spence seems passive.
Mikey's gonna talk tough, man. Like yo.
Nah, they were talking real good in the face off.
Yeah, what I mean. Like they not a good promoter. Like your red shoes look like this with your mama jokes. They ain't good.
So they're not good at clowning each other, but
nah, hey, not everyone. Hey, trash because them guys spend too much time in the gym. They're not. Hey, it's not everyone that could talk like us lot on the thing, man. But hey, the fight. We know they could fight though. That's the bottom line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? Let's switch gears a little bit to light heavyweights, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm not sure if we let's talk about it anyway. This is supposed to be. I think this is Lowe's repertoire right here. There's been reported that Jesse Hart and Eddie Alvarez is in works for the Tyson Fury Oscar Rivas undercard. What do you think about that one, Lowe?
Cool.
Dad, I'm gone. Hey, Dad, I'm gone, y'all. Good talking to you, fellas. I'll catch you guys later.
All right, EJ. Take care,
peace out, bro. Peace out.
Oscar Rivas versus Eddie Alvarez. Not Oscar Rivas. I'm sorry. Jesse Hart versus Eddie Alvarez at 175.
Man, I don't know, man. Jesse Hart probably gonna get knocked out. He flimsy as shit.
I see Alvarez beating him. I see Alvarez beating him.
Punch drunk. Every time he get hit, he get drunk.
Yeah, true. He ain't got his chin is kind of like, it's starting to fall apart.
It's starting to fall apart.
Yeah, it's starting to fall apart. But we'll.
Welcome back. They trying to give a later he back fight. Okay.
Yeah, I know you don't like Lineal.
Bro, I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about something that just happened last weekend. Like, styles really make fights. Like, just because one fighter did great against one guy doesn't necessarily mean he'll do great against the next, right? I think about the Sullivan-Barretta dominated Joe Smith, like, much better in a more classier form, just overall, in a more dominant form than Bivol did versus Joe Smith. But Bivol beat, Sullivan-Barretta, man. Just,
Joe Smith just ain't a fighter, bro. He's a punch and a punch only.
He's a clubber. Yeah, he's like a clubber / technical club fighter if you think about it. You know what I mean?
So knowing that he turned out like this, how do y'all going back at it? How do y'all judge his victory over B-Hop?
I mean,
knowing that he turned out like this,
funny.
Joe Smith. I don't know, man. It's just that he's a very limited fighter. We all know he is. That's the reason why B-Hop took that fight. But B-Hop, obviously, looking at that fight, he looked much slower than he did before after he fought Kovalev. So it was like, ugh. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was a close fight still, but Joe Smith with the upper hand because that goes to to Joe Smith's flaws and his deficiencies. But the fact is that man. I mean, Bivol beating Joe Smith. It's okay. It's a good win. It's a decent win, but. He's a small light heavyweight. That's one thing that needs to take into account. That dude can go down to 168 if he wants to.
Bivol?
Yeah, he can. He can go down.
Get knocked out the night he knocked out from Farah. He was hurt that night. Like he is just not that guy, bro.
So who you see taking him out then? Who you see taking him out then, Lo? Who taking Bivol out at 175?
Shit, the whole division whoop his little kitty ass as far as I'm concerned, the way he fights. Yeah. He fights like the baby. He fights like a little child in there, man. He ain't got no commitment to what he doing. All night. Get fucked up.
Yeah, Hi Man in the chat. What's up, Hi Man? Well, we ain't gonna read that stuff. But Hi Man says here that Usyk won't be ready until 2020. Hopefully Klitschko stays retired. I don't mind White versus Wilder or Fury, but
White now. White made his bed.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the agreement that the zone is offering him, Ahmed. So they said, look, if you take the 2-fight deal, obviously Brazil, that's your mandatory, so that would be part of the deal. And the second fight, you have a choice, either White, Usyk, or Klitschko. So you have that choice. Your second fight, you get paid $25 million for that fight, guaranteed. So we'll see. We'll see what decision that he makes. But again, I expect some counter offers to come in from Fox, Top Rank. They may up the offer, or Showtime if they're really maybe serious about it. But I don't think Showtime will be able to match it, to be honest with you. But we'll see on that. But,
hey man, but look, I had a quick question before y'all get off, man. Look, after this fight, so let's say that Errol Spence wins, which I'm expecting him to dominate in a very dominant fashion. I expect him to shine on this dude, man. But with that said, what do you want to see from him next after this, Dan? After he beats Mikey Garcia, if he beats him, who do you want to see him fight next? What direction do you want to see his career?
He needs to go in the Terence Crawford direction. No other fucking welterweights. Fuck Thurman. Excuse me. All due respect, Thurman is washed up, man. I like to eat Thurman, but you waste your time trying to chase that dude because he trying to chase fucking Manny Pacquiao of all people. All right,
and it's clear as day. It's clear as day. It seems like what the other welterweights are doing is they're trying to wait until they fight each other. That's the only thing that I see, because if they're willing to fight everybody else but those two, it's obvious that they're waiting for those guys to fight each other. So that's why I ask you. I'm wondering, what do you want to see his career go? Who do you want to see?
He needs to go after Terence Crawford, man. That's who you need to go after. After him.
Sean Porter, Manny Pacquiao, man. Either one. Pick one.
Spence ain't fighting either one of them. I just don't see it happening.
Manny Pacquiao wants the fight. Ain't nobody turned down Manny Pacquiao. You cancel that shit. That's huge. You cancel that. If he's still doing 400,000 buys or whatever they claim was wrong.
Yeah, Double A brought up a good point though, now, because I did think about this too. So he said, look, how could the zone offer White when he's supposed to be signing to the ESPN? They need to get White on board at the zone first. Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe they did reach out to White. Maybe White did say, okay, I'll fight Wilder. You can include me in the deal, but as long as it's a one-off fight.
Maybe that article is just bullshit.
It could be possible. Like I said, until Wilder's team or DAZN's executive representatives, they can knock down the article is untrue. Then that we'll wait and see if they do that. But as of right now, we'll take it as it is.
Hamed in the chat trolling. I see. Huh?
Yeah, he's calling you a hater.
Same guy that told the world Sergey Kovalev was gonna outbox later Alvarez and make him look stupid is the guy that doesn't like. I fucking hate YouTube trolls at this point. Just fucking ignorant. Motherfuckers never pick fights right. Motherfuckers gotta hang on everything else everybody else doing. They can't even see the adjustments made in fights, and they talking shit.
So low. Let me get this straight. So you saying that you would Dan said he'd rather see him go after Bud Crawford next. You saying that you would rather see him fight you said you'd rather see him fight someone else? You want to see him fight Sean Porter?
I think Terence Crawford in his third amateur career, he hasn't stepped up at.
But would you like to see that fight?
Who?
Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. Would you like to see that fight?
I mean, if they fight, I'd watch it. I mean,
it's a unification fight, right? It's a unification fight, right?
But that's the ones I would buy. The pay-per-views I would buy. I would buy Pacquiao. I would buy Porter. I know they're gonna fight. I know what I'm getting.
Yo, that is a unification fight, right? Yeah. Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence?
Yeah.
Is that also a pound for pound fight?
Depending on who pound for pound list
come on, man. Come on. Is that a pound for pound fight?
Well, on yours it is, but on mine, Sean Porter's on my pound for pound list.
Look, right. He's on mine too, but that's not what I asked you. I'm talking about
for your list. I'm giving you I'm giving what you want. By your list it is. By mine it's not.
Okay. Is it a pay-per-view fight?
By me, no. Would I be buying it? No. Hold on. You're asking me would I buy the fight?
No. Do you think it's a pay-per-view worthy fight?
Of course they're gonna sell it as they got y'all food. I mean, they selling y'all Khan and Mikey Garcia.
That's not what I'm asking. Lo. You trying to make?
I'm just letting you know.
I understand your point.
Neither one. So
we both agree. We both agree that it's a pound for pound.
No, we don't agree.
You said it was. Okay.
I cannot agree with you if he's not on my Terence Crawford. I told you he is in his actually it's Terence Crawford's first ever step up is what it is. His actual step up past the amateur.
Okay. I have a question for you then. Look, I get it. I see what you're saying. All right. What does Errol Spence gain, or what did he gain by fighting Mikey Garcia this Saturday that he wouldn't gain from fighting Bud Crawford?
Hey,
what does Mikey Garcia offer more?
Nothing much. They both to me. They both they in the same spot to me. You're right. I agree with you on that. They're in the same spot. But the only thing about that, it's easier to make one fight, and it's not as easy as to make the other one, as we've been seeing.
I would love for them to shut Bob. I would love for them to shut Bob Arum up and say you just yelling at the moon, like you bullshitting, right? But they're not even calling him out. But they're not calling him out.
You would love.
I want to see the fight happen.
Because you know why they're not doing that? Because they actually have better things to do in fights to make. Rather than worried about Bob.
You're supposed to nip that in the bud, dog. You're supposed to nip that in the bud.
You want to see something. You want to see something about Bob Arum when other people are like, yo, that fight is right there. And Al Heyman knows I can put that fight on. He's not worried about Bob. And I would wholeheartedly look him in the face and say, thank you. Make the fight. Now if he don't make the fights, then welterweight to just die out. It'll just be a talking point all the time. But if he makes the fights, it's still gonna be a talking point, but in a good sense.
Low. How old would you prefer Bud Crawford to be when he finally get a chance to fight Errol Spence?
I don't think he ever gonna fight Errol Spence, and I ain't really mad about that. I think his big fight is.
Well, how could you not? I know you're a boxing fan. I know you're a boxing fan.
I think his big fights are this. I think these are his big fights, and maybe it ain't big as you think, but this is what's biggest for him. It's gonna be the little kid that everybody hyping up.
The biggest fight?
Hold on. It's gonna be the little kid. I'm just telling you. I don't think they're ever going to fight. I've got a good mindset that they're not going to fight unless Crawford goes to 54. And if Crawford doesn't do that, his big fight is going to be the kid from Philly. It's going to be the kid, Josh Taylor, maybe Jose Ramirez, and maybe Keith Thurman. Maybe Sean Paul. Maybe, though, I don't think it's going to be Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence is going to have bigger and better things at other weights. Just how it's going to go.
Hold on, wait. So, okay, that sounds like a duck to me. Everything you just said.
You can't duck a person if you're fighting in a higher division where the people that you're fighting might kick his ass.
Why not?
There's nowhere near a duck. That's actually you being able to challenge yourself compared to the person that can't challenge themselves.
So let me get this straight. So Mikey did duck Lomachenko and Linares?
No.
Okay.
What the fuck can they say? Well, are they fighting Errol Spence? Just because it's a suicide mission, he's gonna get his ass kicked. But at the end of the day,
how much credit are you giving Errol Spence when he destroys Mikey? The suicide mission that Mikey's on.
We going to the next. We going to the next.
But how much credit on a scale of 1 to 10? How much credit are you giving him?
I'm giving them go to the next credit.
See, you can't even give me a number.
That's what it means. I ain't caring for that fight.
So a zero.
I mean, shit. If he's going there to do a job, he do a job. I ain't interested in that fight.
Would you be disappointed if the fight go 12 rounds?
He can fight how I personally want to see him destroy him. But if he go in there and just out jab him, and he maybe he want to prove something to other people that this jab is a real thing. And it can go to the head, to the body, and maybe he want to prove that to you personally. I'm okay with that, but at the end of the day, I would like to see him wear him out. I know what Errol Spence is, so I'm not looking at a Mikey Garcia fight to tell me what he is. I already seen that in a much better fight. He just got to fought Kell Brook, and I saw everything I need to see.
Give me the cliff notes. Give me the cliff notes. Who's Errol Spence? Why is he better than Bud Crawford? Why is he better than everybody else?
Who?
Why is he more than just a belt holder like the rest of them? Right? Because Sean Porter only has one belt.
I respect Sean Porter.
Keith Thurman only has one belt.
Right. I respect Sean Paul. I got Keith Thurman still up there respected. He just need to get back in his groove. I don't think he washed up, but he needs to prove he's not. He needs to prove that he could take boxing a little more serious, and he's gonna be right in the running for he's gonna be the top fighter at welterweight, maybe. I give him a lot of respect.
All right. Well, my opinion and I'm sure Latin seasons our opinion is that after Garcia fight, he's got to make Terence Crawford fight. You gotta make that fight, man.
How did you say? Did you hear him? He said,
"Yeah, I heard him."
Are you serious?
Listen.
It's the biggest fight at 147.
No, don't tell me that because that's a selling point. That's just what people say. Tell me what win. No. Tell me what win, what fighter, and you look at and be honest with yourself. You look at and say, "Oh, because he beat that guy." Because he beat that guy. Terrence Crawford is the guy, the this, the that. Tell me, it's not that.
Well, why we into the resume talk again? The fact is that
Because
Terrence
that's what's
Crawford is one
gonna
of the best
tell.
fighters in the world.
Ain't that gonna tell me who you are? Ain't that gonna tell me who you are?
Who did Mikey
Isn't that
Garcia
going
beat
to
at
tell me who
147?
you are?
Who did Mikey Garcia beat at
Man,
147
I
to
would
deserve
prefer
this?
Terrence Crawford fight
See?
Ugás
Well,
before.
Wait, who did Mikey
Like I
Garcia
said,
beat at
like I said,
147?
Mikey Garcia was easy to make when everybody else didn't
See
want to
you with the
fight.
goalpost, man. Who did Mikey
Come on,
Garcia
man.
beat at 147?
Bruh, don't act like timelines don't matter. Don't try to dumb down my boxing knowledge because you want
Who
an
did
answer.
Mikey
That's the
Garcia?
problem with these debates. You try to
Who did
dumb
Mikey
it down.
Garcia beat at 147 to get the Spence fight?
And listen, and how easy is it to make that fight?
It's like talking to a brick wall, dog. I swear to God, it's like
Trying to dumb down boxing knowledge. It's easy to make. Nobody else wanted to fight, but now guess what? They won't. Manny Pacquiao says, no, this ain't funny. This is finally what we've been wanting. Manny Pacquiao said Errol Spence's name. Sean Porter said they want to make the fight. Now that he's making money off of the name Mikey Garcia and they seeing his attention, they won't end that. And now we got fights that are bigger than the Terrence Crawford fight, and Mikey Garcia is just a stepping stone in the way of Errol Spence treat him as such. It's not.
You really go. Yeah, you are, bro. You can't even answer the question, but it's all good though.
He allergic to those type of questions.
Here's your answer. Mikey Garcia is not. He doesn't have victories. He doesn't to me. I don't rate him or Crawford. But at the end of the day, I told you the truth. You don't like it, but it's the truth.
Bud has two victories. Bud has 2 victories at 147. Right, Mikey doesn't have any.
You know what Bud should have had a victory over? Like Mikey Garcia got a victory in leaving by round. He didn't actually win.
What's that have to do? What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about?
Bro? Easier fights to make. The easy fight. Look, I'm not giving you lies. I'm giving
the best things ain't easy, man. The best things ain't easy. You know that.
I'm giving you the words of Tim Smith. PBC, I'm giving you their word. He said, well, the fight's easier to make. We make them. We don't go out here looking for everybody else to do their job for them. We make what's in our.
Right. But they should have incentive. They should be more than invested in making this fight because this is a major pay-per-view fight.
Bro, they have a militia.
You're trying to apply it like this is like just a regular television fight. This is a pay-per-view fight.
Hold on. Terrence Crawford did 50,000 buys.
Okay.
Not going to lie to the people and just put you.
All Bob Arum was doing was sticking his feet in the water to test the temperature, right?
Look.
He was fighting a Russian that no one knows, right? Come on, man.
Look, it's a lot of people don't know that kid. It's a lot of people don't know him. It is what it is. A lot of people don't know him. When I watched the last fight with Terrence Crawford, this is not a lie. I watched it with 2 people beside me, 2 people behind me. At the end of the night, that's 5 people, right? At the end of the night, it was 2 people left in the room. They were not interested in what he was doing. And then like, dog, I'm just giving you my experience.
Okay, well, look, I'm gonna tell. Okay, here's this for popularity, right? You felt like $2 million for the Sean Porter fight last week was just as you said. All right, how about that? Look, okay, right. I get you. But look, okay, well, Bud Crawford versus Jose Benavidez, an unknown fighter, right? And he was able to do 3 point. Or a little bit over 3 million, right?
Like hold on. Just like when Earl Spence did the 6. The Olympics was on before that, and the Alabama game was on before Bud Crawford. It's not a good indication of who you really are. They do that to increase their numbers to try to get you out there.
Right. Well, I mean,
hold on. Earl Spence didn't retain those fans, bro. Those 6 million people, they didn't come back again the next time. Terrence Crawford is not proven that's gonna happen either. It's just an anomaly. Well, it's not an anomaly. It's a plan.
Well, why not strike while the iron's hot? Is what I'm saying. How about that?
The iron ain't got
what makes you think the iron is not hot? All right, Bud Crawford has done.
So you mean to tell me Earl Spence should look at the situation and say, okay, and I'm gonna give you my opinion and everybody.
Mikey hasn't had one fight at 147 yet. He's worthy because he's easy. That's what you're telling me.
Earl Spence got the hottest iron to fight. It's Manny Pacquiao.
Why not give props to both of them? Why you can't like Bud Crawford and Errol Spence?
Who? What props to who?
I'm saying, but why you can't respect both of them as fighters?
Because
you're a boxing fan. I didn't say you have to. I asked you why.
What you mean?
No, I'm talking.
That's how I look. Look, man, I'm going by who fought the quality fights, who got the victory. Man got the quality victory.
I mean, you don't think Bud Crawford's proven? He's at 13. He's at 13 championships.
And look, I'd rather be able to look. Listen to me.
I'm trying hard not to get credit.
Right.
If you let me pick any opponent for Bud Crawford, I am picking Ugás.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I know Dwayne just got on, man, but we'll chat offline a little bit, Dwayne. But hey, man, everybody, thanks for tuning in to the chat. Shout out to everybody in the Hangout, Low Place, Latin C's, PSC. EJ was here for a minute. He just bounced, and then Dwayne just got in for a second. But we'll chat offline, man. Everybody, comment, shout out to Ross Cloud, Joe, host from the UK, and everybody else. We out. Peace.